midfield. He's at the 30. It's a fun race at the 20, the 15, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Fayetteville!
Purple Dog Football is on the air.
It's good! It's good! With 4 seconds to go!
Home of the 6-time state champion Fayetteville Bulldogs.
Purple reigns again. Wow.
Purple Dog Football is presented by Alex Baldwin State Farm. Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer is on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. And by Ozarks Go, offering high-speed, reliable, multi-gig internet for Northwest Arkansas. Purple Dog Football is also brought to you by Crane Buick GMC Springdale, Mellow Mushroom, Autoplex Collision Repair, United Country NWA Real Estate, Bank of Fayetteville, and by Crossover Hardware and Rental, Dana Boring Eagle Bank Mortgage, Nutriment, Everett Infinity of Northwest Arkansas, Jeremy Forbes Anchor Point Financial, Square One Trust Incorporated, Fayetteville Auto Park Toyota Chevy, First Community Bank, David's Roofing, and Wright's Barbecue. Now let's get you out to the field. With color analyst Blair Cartwright, here's the voice of Purple Dog Football, Matt Jones.
And we welcome you to Harmon Field for the season opener tonight against Cabot, Fayetteville and Cabot. Getting ready to get underway at the top of the hour. A lot of fun on opening night. A lot of people filling into the stadium here in Fayetteville. A lot of expectations for the Purple Dogs this year. It kind of depends on what poll you look at, and you know there's always a little bit of differing opinions in the preseason. But one thing's for certain, Fayetteville's got a really talented team this year, built around a new quarterback, Hank Hendricks, a junior. He'll make his Fayetteville debut tonight. A transfer in from Texas, played in Boerne in the San Antonio area last season. Some recruiting rankings have him as high as one of the top 10 quarterbacks in his class, in the class of 2027. Fayetteville and Cabot playing for the second year in a row. Fayetteville won down there last year in the season opener, 48-13, a game that was interrupted by storms, rain, lightning, you name it, we had it during that game. Cabot coached by Scott Reed, a several-time state champion at El Dorado before he took the Cabot job. Replaced Mike Malum there, one of the great coaches in Arkansas history. We spoke with Fayetteville coach Casey Dick a little bit earlier. We'll play that for you when we come back. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
We're here with Fayetteville coach Casey Dick. Coach, just what's practice been like this week for your team?
It's been awesome. Obviously been a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm at practice. You know, anytime you have a build-up for your first game, you know, everybody should be ready to go with a lot of those characteristics that we just talked about. But they've done a great job of preparing and understanding, you know, what it takes to get to this point. So they're ready to put the ball down and go play.
What do you know about Cabot?
You know, very, very physical team, likes to establish the run, have a good running back there. They're going to be big at offensive line. Coach Reed does a great job, you know, of manipulating defenses and trying to get them, you know, out of gap sound stuff just by going play action and doing some different things to keep you on your toes to make sure you're reading your keys the right way. So everybody knows he's one of the long-time best coaches in Arkansas. So I'm sure he'll have his guys ready to roll and, you know, very, very prepared for us tonight.
I know you all play in preseason, and and we do it too. We broadcast your games. I wonder, as coaches, how much do you try to withhold during those exhibition games so that teams don't learn a whole lot about you before the season opener?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what you see from a scrimmage or from during the summer at 7-on-7, those things are very base, I would say, just because that's kind of your identity, that's who you are. Then all the other wrinkles and things that obviously that you prepare for from a week in, week out basis is things that you're going to implement. So everybody knows at the beginning of the year you're probably going to get some stuff you haven't seen on tape, you haven't seen necessarily in the summer, or maybe even last year. Maybe obviously their teams change, their kids change, maybe they're doing a different philosophical on offense or defense. So that's kind of the unique thing earlier in the year. You really don't know what you're going to get, but you have to try to prepare your kids for what they are going to see. And usually those things occur early in the game, and then they'll settle down, that second, third series of really who they're going to try to be and what they're going to try to do from a philosophical standpoint on both sides of the ball.
This is the second year that you're playing them to start the season. You'll play Broken Arrow again. You'll play Texas High again. As you put together these non-conference schedules, what's the philosophy? Like what are you trying to learn from your team? What are you trying to get out of these games?
Yeah, we want it to be tough. We want it to resemble what we're going to play, obviously, once we get into 7A conference. And so that's the reason why we put teams like Broken Arrow and Cabot and Texas High on the schedule. Is we want our guys to be prepared. Number one, we want them to be used to the speed, and then obviously a lot of those things will trickle over week in a week as well. So a lot of these teams are pretty similar from a characteristic standpoint of what they're going to do offensively, how they'll be kind of formatted on defense. So whether they change or adapt as the year goes is yet to be seen. So that's just kind of the tricky part of the beginning of the year.
We'll have more with Casey Dick in just a moment. This is the Purple Dog pregame show on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale, gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
Back here with Casey Dick. I thought in the Greenwood exhibition, it was probably as closely of a contested exhibition as you guys have had against Greenwood over the years.
Yeah, I thought for the most, like I told our guys, I thought for the most part it was clean. Wasn't a whole lot of penalties. Obviously, we can clean some stuff up, look at it, get better from just different looks that we got from them. We like scrimmaging them earlier in the year because they're really a team that's probably going to be in mid-year form compared to everybody else. That's around just because of the overall setup and things that they have. So it's obviously a great scrimmage for us. It gets our kids ready. They play fast, which is another thing from a defensive standpoint that it causes our kids to do is communicate very fast because they play at a faster pace. So there's some things that obviously will make us better in the long run when you look at that scrimmage, but I think really, really prepare us really well going forward, which is the reason why we like to do that.
I know you guys have been really excited about Hank Hendricks, your quarterback, and what you've seen from him, throughout the offseason. What did you see last week in Greenwood?
Just very consistent. Didn't force the ball. Took care of it when the opportunity was there to make big plays. He did that. He got us in and out of protections really well. Got himself protected in some certain situations when he has the ability to shift and move the protection how he likes. And then, the most important thing is he just, he didn't, like I said, he didn't force anything, but he made just the ordinary plays of exactly what we talked about.
You guys have always been blessed with having great skill athletes, but it seems to me watching him that maybe he even elevates their level of play a little bit.
He does, and I've said it back in the summer and the spring. He's very intent on how he goes about building relationships with those guys. He knows how to push their buttons without it being negative, but it's a demanding way. But it's not demeaning. So, he like I said, he's got a lot of street credit from playing very early on in his career as a freshman, playing 4 games and then playing 14 last year. So he comes in kind of like a seasoned veteran, but yet he's got 2 full seasons of high school football left. So very fortunate to have him. Like I said, great teammate, great leader, great person to be around, and has certainly elevated our guys.
During the JV game the other night, you guys had 4 touchdowns called back, and you talked earlier about how penalties are so important and prevalent the first week of the season. You'll have some of those players, I'm sure, that are going to be contributing for you tonight. Is that a good teaching point?
Absolutely. A lot of those decisions, making in the middle of a game by a kid or a player, or on a split second, boom, boom. and some of them, necessarily haven't gotten all the reps that are obviously our varsity guys have gotten from a practice format or in 7-on-7 or team camp. So it's a great learning time for them, which is, like we told them earlier in the year, when your opportunity when you play on Monday night is to go dominate the JV game. When you go dominate the JV game, great things will happen. And, some of those things, they weren't from a lack of effort. So it wasn't people see those things, fans see those things, and they're like, oh, that it wasn't a lack of effort. We could have channeled that a different direction, and obviously would have had a different outcome or a different reaction from everybody, but certainly great learning curves in the moment for sure.
You've kind of put a new twist on the old helmet, brought that back this year. Explain that.
Just something new that we felt like we wanted to bring back this year. Sat down as a group and said, hey, do we want to keep the same thing or not? And everybody kind of said, hey, well, what about the old school bulldog that used to be on the helmet back in the day? And had it drawn up and slapped it on there, and it turned out looking good. So our kids love it. They've liked it. Kind of pops on the helmet really well. So kind of anxious to see what everybody thinks about it.
Yeah, what's old is new again. It feels like all the time. Last one for you. Key tonight to winning this game against Cabot.
Yeah, I think number one, obviously penalties. Early in the year, special teams is going to be a huge part of what goes on, whether that's punt, kickoff return, any of those things that have a transition in the game. Or we have some guys back there that we feel like can obviously take it to the house and do some positive things, but special teams and just taking care of the ball. On offense, fumbles or interceptions. On defense, creating those turnovers. And certainly eliminating the big play. So, it sounds very basic, but that's kind of the roots of football, whether you're playing week 1 or, week 14. If you're playing, those are kind of the keys to the whole thing.
Coach, good luck tonight against Cabot. When we come back, we'll be back with Blair Cartwright. This is the Purple Dog pregame show on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go. Keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is a home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
And we're back here in Fayetteville, just about 7 minutes away from kickoff. Fayetteville and Cabot. Fayetteville last year 8-3 overall. The Purple Dogs were the number 2 seed from the 7A West in the playoffs. They lost to Pulaski Academy in overtime here in the playoffs, so a really tough loss for Fayetteville. Cabot went 5-7 a year ago, lost in the same round of the playoffs as Fayetteville did. They won a playoff game, though. They did not have the bye like the Purple Dogs. They beat Springdale in the first round, and then they lost in the second round. Blair, it's one of these weeks I feel like where it's not so much about the other team, it's just about yourself and making sure that you do what you do right.
Yes, you've been working. I mean, it's great to finally play somebody else besides yourself, but you really don't. You're worried more about what your team's doing, and the other team just happens to be there more or less. And so this will be a good test. I mean, these games have been interesting. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Week 1, you want to come out sharp and focused. But it's a process, as we've seen with Fayetteville, it's a process that builds each week on top of the previous week. So it's not going to be a finished product tonight, but it's going to be a glimpse in what potentially could be another outstanding season for the Bulldogs.
Fayetteville's got some older players on the roster, some seniors, but you look out here at the captains right now, and it kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at with this team. 3 of their 4 captains on the field tonight are juniors. You got the quarterback, Hank Hendricks. You got a couple of defensive players, Will Price and Will Caston, and Caleb Johnson, who's a senior running back. This is a team that they feel like they can be really good this year, but they feel like this core could be really good for them for, a couple, 3 years.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, you look at the roster, and it's just amazing the number of underclassmen that are playing, and we get to see the junior high games and the JV and the freshman games. I mean, there's a lot of talent coming through Fayetteville High School, and and Coach Casey has built a phenomenal culture, and we're seeing the effects of that. I mean, this program is rolling right now.
10 nights ago, Fayetteville went down to Greenwood, played the Bulldogs, and Greenwood, they could be a 7A team, and they would, they'd move up and they'd continue to roll on. I think they're a quality program. We've seen Fayetteville play them in the preseason before, and Fayetteville didn't look very good. But Greenwood got them, better and ready for the season. This was as good as I've seen Fayetteville against Greenwood. Both teams scored 3 touchdowns. they varsity players only played 2 quarters, and at the end of 2 quarters, the score was 21-19 because Fayetteville missed an extra point, then missed a 2-point conversion trying to tie it up right before the varsity scrimmage ended. I thought the performance they had against Greenwood last week was really encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scrimmage that benefits both teams. I mean, it helps sharpen Greenwood, it helps sharpen Fayetteville, and those are two premier teams that, you know, each held their own, so it's very encouraging.
Cabot, they had a benefit game the same night. They were part of kind of a, I guess you'd call it a jamboree, Blair. 3 teams. You had Russellville, Rogers, and Cabot all met up in Russellville. And I think, I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, kind of what the format of that was. I just know that they all had time that they played against each other. Fayetteville players are lined up in the south end zone of Harmon Field. They're about to run out on the field. We're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back with the kickoff. Coming up, this is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started.
I didn't even look.
When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed Tender Bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in Northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
And we're at Harmon Field, the 2025 season about to get underway. Fayetteville and Cabot players have taken the sideline. Fayetteville wearing the home purple jerseys tonight, black pants, purple helmets. And Blair, they've gone back to helmets that kind of harken back to the old days. What's old is new again. They've gone to these, I would call them 2007 era helmets. I know they wore them in 07 when they won the state title. I think they wore them in the Brandon Allen, Austin Allen years as well. And so we talked to Casey Dick a little bit earlier today. He said that the players loved them and they wanted to do something a little bit different. So they've gone back to these older helmets.
Look good.
They've got a really neat look to them. They've got the decal on the right side. They've got their number on the left side. Cabot tonight wearing their traditional uniforms, white jerseys, red pants, red helmets. Panthers coached by Scott Reed, 43-28 record at Cabot. Before he got to Cabot, he won multiple state championships at El Dorado. Casey Dick in his 8th year with the Purple Dogs comes into this game tonight with a 48-22 record as the Purple Dogs coach. Trying to get to 50 wins this year. I think he'll get it. Won his 50th career game last year. He coached at Van Buren for 1 season before making his way up here to Northwest Arkansas. Fayetteville's going to kick the ball away. Jack Billings is one of 2 Fayetteville kickers. The Purple Dogs will have a different kicker for their kickoffs than they will for their extra points and field goals. Ethan Farthing, who's just a freshman, he'll handle those. Jack Billings, a junior. Nathan Cockle, who was a 3-year starter and a 4-year player for the Purple Dogs, graduated. He was a good one. So kicking will be something to watch. Here's the kick. On the way, it'll be fielded from the 3-yard line, back out across the 10, the 15 to the 20, and forward to about the 23-yard line before getting pushed backward. Well, I think they're going to blow the play dead. It's still going. And finally, the pile heads to the Fayetteville sideline. Braden McCraw on the return for Cabot. Will Price was one of the several Purple Dogs in there to make the stop. Maddox McCrory is a senior. He's the Cabot quarterback. Where's number 2? It's a different-looking Cabot team than most people will remember if you watched Mike Malum there for all those years when they ran about 6 plays to perfection. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left here on first down, and they're going to give it to their running back up the middle. Fayetteville right there.
Nice.
And Jax Tidwell makes a stop right at the line of scrimmage at the 28-yard line. On the carry was Cooper Powell. Jax Tidwell was one of several Purple Dog players. The coaches were out there too this morning at Holcomb Elementary School in Fayetteville, trying to get the youngsters fired up for this game tonight.
I would say it worked.
3 receivers right side here for Cabot on 2nd and 10. Now they empty the backfield and put 2 to the left. McCrory against the 3-man rush, throws deep downfield. He's got a receiver wide open at the Fayetteville 35. Cuts back inside and falls down at the 31. But that is a big catch. Charlie Garden made the touchdown-saving tackle. Bentley Harrell with the catch. They'll mark him down at the 31.
That is a busted coverage big time. I mean, you know, you hate to see it, but you're going to have that maybe occasionally first game. But it's correctable.
41-yard gain that time for Cabot. 1st and 10. 10:55 to play first quarter. Panthers on the move. They've got 2 tight ends here, 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Now they bring a receiver in motion. Play action. McCrory being pressured. Throws. It's caught in the flat across the 20 and down to the 10-yard line. It was the running back coming out of the backfield. Cooper Powell with the catch. And the Panthers have 1st and goal here at the 10.
They're going quick, and it's quick throws, which is negating any kind, not giving Fayetteville any opportunity to put a rush on.
Clock runs, 10:27 to play first quarter. 1st and goal here for Cabot at the Fayetteville 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the left side. They've got a tight end, or 2 tight ends to the right. Here's a quick pass out to the left side behind the line of scrimmage. Broken tackle, but taken down at the line of scrimmage. C.J. Bailey made the tackle. On the catch that time was Aiden Tatum. No gain. It'll bring up 2nd and goal. Charlie Garden had a chance to take Tatum down for about a 4-yard loss. Just couldn't pull him down.
Yeah.
Purple Dogs want to thank John Montez and Mojitos for the pregame meal today. 2nd and goal here for Cabot. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Ball on the left hash. McCrory is in the shotgun, looking to throw, being pressured backside, throws over the middle, and that pass is incomplete. It was nearly intercepted.
Should have been picked.
Will Caston and Cole Mobley were in coverage. I think they both had a chance to intercept that. Cannon Moore, the intended receiver.
Right through Mobley's hands. Hey, boy, I'll tell you what, the quarterback, Maddox, he was locked in on his receiver the whole time.
Will Price nearly got to him from the backside. 3rd and goal here for Cabot. They come out in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, tight end to the right. Now they move him in motion, and we've got movement, and this is going to be.
Well, both sides pointing at the other.
Well,
is there a flag, though?
No, there's not.
Okay.
Cabot thought that Fayetteville had jumped, and I'm actually a little surprised that Cabot didn't get a false start by the way it reacted.
They all moved.
Here's the snap on 3rd down. Now we've got a flag. They blow the play dead as McCrory throws to the end zone. This is going to be an encroachment penalty against Fayetteville. Colby Berna is our head referee. Colby's mic not working there.
First game of the year.
So the penalty will move Cabot forward to the Fayetteville 5. It'll be 3rd and goal from there. 9:31 to play first quarter. Cabot has moved the ball down the field pretty quickly, but the drive is at least temporarily stalled here inside the red zone.
They look like they're going to throw. Fayetteville's lined up in a pass defense.
McCrory with 3 receivers to the right side now. He rolls right away from pressure, looking to throw. He's hit, gets away at the 5, and he's in for a touchdown, Cabot. Several Purple Dogs had a chance to take him down, but Maddox McCrory with a 5-yard quarterback keeper, and Cabot strikes first.
That RPO went to the right and kept the play alive. Nobody was open, but then all the receivers spread out, and the middle was open, so he just ran it in.
Here comes the extra point attempt for the Panthers. Dean Heyer is their kicker, And the kick is good. 9:23 to play first quarter. Cabot strikes first. We'll see if Fayetteville can answer. It's 7-0 Cabot. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
And we're back at Harmon Field, 9:23 to play in the first quarter with Fayetteville trailing Cabot 7-0. Panthers with a 72-yard touchdown drive on their first possession of the year. Kickoff's brought to you by Square One Trust Incorporated, focused on providing a quality product with quality services. Square One Trust Incorporated is a proud supporter of Purple Dog Football. You can learn more at squareonetrust.com. Fourth year in a row, Fayetteville and Cabot have played the season opener against each other. Fayetteville's won 2 of them. One here at Harmon Field 2 years ago in a game that we'll never forget because Cabot had 3 safeties in the first quarter. Then Fayetteville won last year. Cabot's only won 1 time ever in this series. Fayetteville leads at 5-1. Here's a kick, and it will be fielded at the 9-yard line. Back out across the 10, the 15, the 20. This is Kenyon Johnson at the 30, 35. Flag comes out as Johnson gets forward to the 38-yard line. Flag back at the 29. That's thrown where you would typically expect to maybe see a hold or a block in the back. Talked with Casey Dick earlier. He said penalties in the first game are certainly a coach's worry. Yeah. It is a holding penalty against Fayetteville, so that'll move the Purple Dogs back inside their own 20 to start the first drive of the year. Hank Hendricks, a junior quarterback. His dad is on staff, on the support staff with the Razorback football team. Hank was a sophomore starter last year at Boerne, Texas. That's right, outside of San Antonio. And he was a good one. This was a good Boerne team. Made it deep into the Class 5A playoffs. And just to give you an idea, if you watched Fayetteville play Texas High last year, that's the same level of football that Hank Hendricks was playing really well last year. Empty backfield here on first down from the 20-yard line. 4 receivers to the right side. Now they bring Caleb Johnson in motion back into the backfield. Here's a reverse. They flip it to Kenyon Johnson going left side across the 25, 30. Johnson at the 35, the 40 of Fayetteville. And finally taken down at the 42-yard line. A 22-yard run on the first play for Fayetteville. And that's a First Community Bank first down. Fayetteville's going to run with a lot of pace here tonight. You can see them up to the line already. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left from the 42-yard line. Shotgun formation, play action. Hendricks throws. Kavian Taylor with the catch across midfield into Cabot territory. And Kavian Taylor goes from 142 to the other. A gain of 16 and another First Community Bank first down.
Very nice. Good coverage. Nice, easy throw. Knew they were going to make it easy on him.
2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Tight end to the left here. Ball in the middle of the field from the Cabot 42. Caleb Johnson going left side across the 40, 35. Caleb Johnson inside the 30. 3 plays and 3 first downs for Fayetteville. This run will go for 14 to the Cabot 28. Another First Community Bank first down.
Love the tempo that they're running right now. It's almost breakneck speed.
5 wide here for Fayetteville. Ball on the left hash from the Cabot 28. Hendricks in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looking right side, steps away from pressure, throwing downfield, and that pass is incomplete. Kavian Taylor, the intended receiver. Ramsey Jones was in coverage for Cabot. Correction. No, it was Harrison Fry in coverage. Second down, Mike Volarvich in his second year as Fayetteville's offensive coordinator. Former head coach at Nashville. 4 wide, and now they move Caleb Johnson to the left side here to empty the backfield. Quick pass left side. That is caught But Cabot's going to blow this up and throw Charles Whitlow out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. They will mark him out at the 30. It's a loss of 2, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long for Fayetteville. Jalen Hart made the stop that time for Cabot. 3rd down and 12, 4 wide to the right side, 1 to the left. Ball on the left hash. Fayetteville needs to get to the Cabot 18-yard line. Here's the snap. Hendricks starts right, throws back to the left, across the 20, at the 15, the 10. Whitlow breaks a tackle at the 5. Whitlow is at the goal line. Touchdown, Fayetteville. On 3rd and long, Fayetteville with a 30-yard touchdown pass to Charles Whitlow. And the Purple Dogs answered Cabot back really fast.
I think they're going to go for 2, Matt.
They've got the offense out on the field kind of in a swinging gate formation.
Yeah, told everybody to stay out there.
They've got Caleb Johnson to the right side of Hank Hendricks, Reese Knight the center, and everybody else is over on the other side of the left hash mark. And now Fayetteville will run the offense out, and here comes the special teams.
Okay.
Just trying to get a look.
Yeah.
Ethan Farthing is the freshman kicker. Patrick Alexander will snap, and William Woodruff will hold.
Also something else for everybody that looks at the film to think about.
Ball is down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. 7:46 to play first quarter. Fayetteville and Cabot have both scored. Our score, Fayetteville 7, Cabot 7. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
We're back at Harmon Field, 7:46 to play. Fayetteville and Cabot tied at 7. That extra point was an Anchor Point extra point. For comprehensive wealth management, call Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com.
6 plays, 80 yards.
Jack Billings' kick is going to be fielded at the 6-yard line, back out across the 10, the 15, the 20, and running into some trouble now across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. Really nice return that time by Aeneas Arnold. Looked like he was going to be stopped right around the 20, 25-yard line, and then he squirted through for an extra 10, 12 yards.
Yeah. Thought he was bottled up, and then suddenly comes bursting out of the pile. They're going to give him 36.
So we'll see if the Fayetteville defense can buckle down here after Cabot had so much success on that first drive.
Cabot takes over 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
On defense for Fayetteville, Kendrick Williams out there as a safety. He's committed to play for Arkansas. And then you see at linebacker, Will Caston. He's got a Razorback offer. Here they called him Marvin. Marvin's his dad. He was a Razorback too. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Here's McCroy on first down being blitzed. Throws, and that pass is caught at the 44-yard line. He took a big hit from Caston.
Yes, he did.
Grady Smith with the catch. 8-yard gain at 2nd down and 2 for the Panthers. They're running with some pace. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They move a tight end to the left side. 2nd down and 2. McCrory takes the snap, play action, and he's just going to have to tuck it and run. He's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Jax Tidwell with the tackle. Brody Jones took away the quick pass that he was trying to make to Aeneas Arnold, and then McCrory just had to scramble. Loss of a yard back to the 43. It's 3rd down and 3.
Falling behind here on my stats. I'm not in game shape on the stats. We'll get that fixed.
First time this year, the bells ring at Harmon Field. 3rd down and 3. Panthers need to get to their own 46-yard line. 2 tight ends to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Here's a run up the middle and taken down short of the line again. It looked like he was going to be taken down to the backfield, but he was able to get forward to the 45-yard line. Cooper Powell on the carry. Trey Byers took him down. 4th and 1 and decision time for Cabot.
I wouldn't be shocked if they go for it. It's early in the year. Trying to make a statement on the road.
Fayetteville changes out its defensive line. They bring the big Slater Kambanga Myers in. Here's the 4th down run up the middle, and he's going to get there. Powell pushes the pile forward across midfield and down to the Fayetteville 47. Cabot with a little bit of a quick snap there, maybe gotten Fayetteville.
Yeah, they caught him a little flat-footed. Which, you know, you think about it, it's pretty smart to do that if you're in that situation.
Fayetteville gets his pass rushers back on the field here on 1st down from the Fayetteville 47. McCrory takes the snap. Fayetteville bringing a blitz. He's hit as he throws deep downfield, and that pass is incomplete. Cole Mobley in coverage that time. The pass was intended for Aiden Tatum. Jeremiah Conley was providing the pressure. Is there a flag? There is a flag back there in the secondary.
Oh, no. That was not a catchable ball. So maybe that's what the question was. Looks like they're going to pick it up. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, they're going to call it.
Well, I got to tell you, I didn't see it. I didn't see a hold there. They didn't give a number, but the only one I can think of that they would throw that on is Cole Mobley, who was in coverage, and I thought he played that ball well. Well, the penalty yardage will move Cabot to the Fayetteville 37. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. They move a tight end in motion. Here's a give up the middle, and tackle. Not much there. Will Caston on the stop on the carry that time, Braden Davenport. It'll be a gain of a yard up to the 36, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Clock runs, 5:21 to play first quarter. Fayetteville and Cabot tied at 7. Both teams scored on their opening possession. Cabot driving down the field here on its 2nd. People are still making their way into Harmon Field. It's packed in here tonight.
Yeah, good crowd.
Good crowd made the way down from Cabot, too. 3 receivers to the right side, tight end to the left. Here's McCrory on 2nd down. Big pressure, backside, taken down for a sack. Mobley got him. At the 44-yard line, it's a loss of 8 yards, and Mobley coming from his quarterback spot. McCrory never saw him coming from the blind side.
Nope, they sent the house that time, and he was not ready for it.
New Fayetteville defensive coordinator, Clayton Pankey. He came over from Conway, where he was the defensive coordinator, so some familiarity there, being in the same conference as Cabot.
Yep, knowing the tendencies.
3rd and long here for the Panthers. They need to get to the Fayetteville 27-yard line.
Wow, 4 wide.
Empty backfield, 4 to the right, 1 to the left. McCrory takes the snap, 4-man rush, throwing deep downfield, and there's nobody there.
Nope. That was a miscommunication.
Looked like Aeneas Arnold thought it was going to be a comeback route, and McCrory thought he was going to go deep. Have we got another flag?
Oh, they're talking. Where is it, though?
I think we may have a sideline warning. There's a flag over on the Cabot sideline, Blair.
Okay. Yeah. It's actually off the field of play.
It's out of bounds.
So yeah, I would think that's the infamous sideline one.
Oh, Fayetteville had 12 on the field.
Oh.
And so it'll be 3rd down again.
Wow.
Now, have they marked this ball correctly? They've moved it up to the 30-yard line. That's not a 15-yard penalty.
No, that can't be right. Wait, it was 4th down, right?
It was 3rd down, but the ball was at the 44. They put the ball up at the 29.
Yeah, that can't be right.
Wow, there's some confusion on Cabot's sideline, and now Cabot's going to have to take a timeout with 4:13 to play in the first quarter. I can't understand why the ball has been moved 15 yards here.
I'm not always accurate, but the sack was on 2nd down. The pass play was, the incomplete pass was on 3rd down.
But that was negated by the penalty.
Oh, okay.
First quarter
Oh, I
brought to
got
you
you.
by Crossover Hardware and Rental, your local hardware store. Start right, start here.
Okay. All right.
I am confused
yeah,
as to why they moved this ball 15 yards up the field, but there's not any there's not any debate on the Fayetteville sideline.
No, I'm a little surprised by that too.
Mellow Mushrooms, home to great pizza, salads, and calzones, plus a full bar with 27 drafts on tap. Locally owned and operated since 2008 at 1460 East Augustine Lane, mellowmushroom.com. Third down and 3 to go here for Cabot. They've got to get to the Fayetteville 27-yard line, really only about 2 to go. Wildcat formation, Powell is going to barrel up the middle. He's got the first down up near the 25-yard line. And so a costly penalty for Fayetteville. It would have been fourth down, and Cabot would have punted the ball away, but instead, Panthers' drive continues to go. Spence Palladino made the stop that time for Fayetteville. First down for Cabot at the Purple Dog 26.
It is a physical game so far in the trenches. Just watching the two lines through the binoculars, man, there is some hitting going on.
Two receivers right side, one to the left here for the Panthers. Now they move a receiver back in motion toward the line. McCrory throws. Powell, the running back, with the catch across the 20, inside the 15, walking the tightrope down to the 12 before he's pushed out of bounds by Charlie Garden. 14-yard gain and another Cabot first down.
Well, this core group for Cabot has come up through the system, and you can tell they've got they just know where each other's going to be. They've got a lot of folks over there. They had 175 kids out in the spring.
Two receivers to the right side, one to the left, a tight end to the right, and play action. McCrory throws over the middle. It is intercepted by Caston at the 15. Back out across the 20, the 30. Caston out of bounds over on the Cabot sideline at the 34-yard line. Will Caston with the pick.
Nice.
A 23-yard return for the junior with the Razorback offer. And a huge defensive play for Fayetteville when they needed it.
He saw the quarterback lock in on his receiver and jump the route, timed it beautifully.
They mark Caston out at the 33-yard line, so Fayetteville will start there with 3:28 to play in the first quarter. 4 wide for Fayetteville, ball in the left hash. Two receivers to each side. Hendricks in the shotgun. Johnson's his running back. Johnson will get the call, running right side across the 35, 40, 45, across midfield, and on to Cabot's side of the field at the 48-yard line. A 19-yard gain and a First Community Bank first down for the Purple Dogs.
Man, that running game is just going to set up the passing game as well.
Fayetteville up to the line quickly. Two receivers right side, one to the left, tight end to the right. Hendricks takes the snap, a low snap, throws as he's hit deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Kenyon Johnson, the intended receiver, but a big hit late on the quarterback by Logan Jackson, the senior linebacker.
Bounced right up, but give him credit, man. He knew the shot was coming. Still put a lot on that.
2nd and 10 here for Fayetteville. 3:08 to play in the first quarter. We're tied at 7. 4 wide, 2 to each side. Ball in the middle of the field. Johnson's the running back. Hendrickson shotgun takes the snap, being pressured. Quick pass right side is caught by Kavian Taylor across the 40, and he's near first down yardage. He'll be a yard short at the 39. That's back-to-back dropbacks, though, for Hendricks when he's taking a big hit.
Yeah, and that was a quick out, too. That was, they're sending the house.
Fayetteville brings an extra tight end in here. Tyler Clark checks in. Cade Bright also on the right side of the formation. Johnson, the running back. Cabot's blitzing. Johnson takes it right side. First down across the 35. Broken tackle at the 30. At the 20. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Fayetteville. Caleb Johnson goes in for 39-yard touchdown on third down, and Fayetteville takes the lead.
Great play call. They've been bringing the edges hard, so a little delay, and then he gets out to the edge, and he's gone.
Here comes an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Call Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Alexander, Woodruff, and Farthing are the battery, and the kick is right down the middle. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin, State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurers, on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. 2:31 to play first quarter, and our score here at Harmon Field, Fayetteville 14, Cabot 7. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale, gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
2:31 to play in the first quarter. Fayetteville leading Cabot 14-7 after a 39-yard touchdown run by Caleb Johnson.
4 plays, 67 yards.
Jack Billings to kick this ball away. High and over end kick, and this one's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Yep. The Fayetteville tradition continues.
It does.
Ethan's extra point was boomed pretty good. All the little kids out in the back of the end zone were chasing it down.
Tonight's broadcast of Purple Dog Football presented by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, and by Ozarks Go, a telecommunications subsidiary of Ozarks Electric Cooperative, offering high-speed, reliable, multi-gig internet for Northwest Arkansas. They continue to make their way into Harmon Field. It is packed on the home side of the stadium
it's
tonight.
absolutely gorgeous, 75 degrees. The Cabot people feel right at home because they're looking into the sun just like they do at Panther Stadium.
Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. McCrory on first down gives to Powell, running right side, being angled toward the sideline. He broke a tackle, and he's finally going to be taken down over on the far sideline.
He'll lose yardage, though.
Chris Anderson made the stop. I'll tell you what, Powell took a big hit from Kendrick Williams and did not go down. And when Williams hits you, you usually feel it. There's a Fayetteville player down on the field, and that might be Kendrick.
Oh, he's in some pain. I don't like this.
Fayetteville trainers are out taking a look at him. Casey Dick also making his way over across the field. While they do, we'll step away for 30 seconds. Fayetteville leading Cabot 14-7. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is a home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
And we're back here at Harmon Field. Tough sight as Kendrick Williams is being helped to the sideline. At first, he didn't look like he could put any weight down on his right ankle, Blair. He's now walking very gingerly toward the sideline. Kendrick, a senior, committed to play for the Razorbacks. Certainly hope he's okay. The result of that play for Cabot was a 3-yard loss back to the 17-yard line. It's second down and 13 for the Panthers as play resumes. Under 2:20 to play first quarter. 4 wide, 1 to the right side. Empty backfield for McCrory. Looking left all the way, throws. The pass is caught by Powell. Big hit by Charlie Garten. A flag is in the secondary. Powell made the catch at the 23.
We've got another dog shaking up.
This time it's Chris Anderson in the backfield, now being looked at by the Fayetteville training staff. So we've got a holding penalty against Fayetteville. It was against Brody Jones, the cornerback. That will give Cabot a first down, but now Chris Anderson being tended to on the field with 2:07 to play in the first quarter. We'll step away again for 30 seconds. This is Purple Dog football.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Chris Anderson gets a hand as he walks off the field with the training staff here. Fayetteville back-to-back plays with
it's
two of their better defenders injured.
not ideal. Obviously, thank goodness for the training staff. They do a phenomenal job, so players are in good hands.
So the result of the holding penalty is, or should be, a first down, although they have not moved the chains.
Yeah, it's
at the 28. Here's a pump fake. McCrory looking deep downfield. Now lets it go into triple coverage, and it is incomplete. There were two receivers and three defensive backs there. C.J. Bailey was the closest one in coverage for Fayetteville. The intended receiver was Aeneas Arnold. And I would say there's a little bit of there's a
penalty.
A flag against Cabot. They had an ineligible receiver downfield. And there's still some confusion, Blair, about what the down is. When they called the holding penalty against Brody Jones, they said it was an automatic first down. But it says second down on the marker over there. So we're going to go with that at second down. 2nd and 7 for the Panthers from their own 23-yard line. Minute 51 to play, first quarter. Fayetteville ahead 14-7. Cabot comes out with 4 wide. 1 to the right side. 4 to the left, 1 to the right. McCrory in the shotgun. Claps his hands and takes the snap. Fayetteville brings 4. McCrory throwing deep downfield.
No.
He's got a receiver open. That's Powell across the Fayetteville 40, the 30, stiff arm at the 20, and taken down by Charlie Garton at the Purple Dog 14-yard line. We've seen Cooper Powell get behind the defense a couple of times out of the backfield.
He is fast. He is really fast, and I don't know how he's doing it, but he's having success getting behind our guys.
They put the ball down at the Fayetteville 15. 1st and 10 there for Cabot. Every Cabot drive tonight has reached the red zone.
You got to stick man on man with him. You can't hesitate. He'll get by you in a heartbeat.
2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, tight end to the right. Davenport's come in as a running back. He'll get the call. No, it's a play action. McCrory throws, touchdown. Aeneas Arnold with the touchdown catch, a 15-yarder. And Cabot's an extra point away from tying this thing.
Man, the play action. I think everybody in the stadium fell for that one. It was unfortunately well done by Cabot.
McCrory ran for a touchdown on Cabot's first drive. He's got his first touchdown pass here. Cloud's starting to darken a little bit over the top of Harmon Field.
Yeah, have to look at the radar.
Here comes the extra point by Dean Heyer. It's on the way, and it's good. So with a minute 25 to play in the first quarter, we're tied again. Our score, Fayetteville 14, Cabot 14. And this is Purple Dog football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
And we're back at Harmon Field, a minute 25 to play in the first quarter. Fayetteville and Cabot are tied at 14. Blair checking the radar over here. Doesn't look like there's any rain in the area.
No.
But the clouds have darkened over the top. I'm taking back Blair to last year in Cabot when you could see that storm cloud coming from several miles away.
Yeah, it was a little unnerving.
It dumped a lot of rain. It was a weird dynamic last year. Cabot stands were full at the start of that game. Season opener, they're excited. And then a bunch of them went home during the rain delay and never came back. The Fayetteville people who made the trip down, they had nowhere to go, and it kind of turned into kind of a neutral site game.
We got a new kicker.
Okay.
So look out for something.
So here's the kick. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Okay. Well,
Cabot kicker that time, Lucas Blaylock.
It always makes me a little nervous when you see a new kicker. It's like, maybe a little trickery. Yeah, it's getting dark fast.
Purple Dogs have scored on both of their drives. They take it at their own 20 here with 1:25 to play in the first quarter.
Cabot, 6 plays, 73 yards on their first drive, and then 5 plays, 80 yards on that one.
3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left here for Hank Hendricks in the shotgun formation from the Fayetteville 20-yard line. Takes the snap. Cabot bringing the blitz. He throws. That pass is incomplete. Intended for Jaden Nicholson. Nicholson couldn't bring it in. It's second down.
Maybe just a little high. Well, I did not expect a track meet.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left here for Fayetteville on second down. Hendricks in the shotgun. Johnson the running back. Hendricks looking to throw downfield.
Nice.
Taylor with the catch at the 40. Kavian Taylor at the 45. And down to the Fayetteville 48-yard line with a 28-yard gain. And another first down, First Community Bank first down for the Purple Dogs. Kavian had a big game at Cabot last year.
Yeah, great play call. Had 2 receivers in the area and just 1 defender.
Up to the line quickly. 3 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Ball on the right hash. Hendricks claps his hands, takes the snap, looking. Cabot bringing pressure. Hank lost the football, and he has to fall back on it, back at the 41-yard line. Looked like he was using the ground to kind of keep himself upright and just forgot the ball.
He kind of lost his footing, and that's when it fell out of his hand.
7-yard loss for the Purple Dogs, and it's 2nd and 17. We're inside of a minute to play in the first quarter. Tie game, 14-14. Hendricks in the shotgun here on second down. Play action, quick pass right side. Nicholson with blockers across the 45 midfield. And Jaden Nicholson gets to the Cabot 49. It'll make it 3rd and more manageable for the Purple Dogs. 3rd down and 7 upcoming.
Good blocks, too, by his fellow wide receivers.
Fayetteville does not have to take a snap, although that's not in their DNA to go slow.
No, not at all.
4 wide, 2 to each side. Now they look toward the sideline. Hendricks in the shotgun. The nice thing here is if they don't like the look, they don't have to snap it. Hendricks takes the snap. Cabot bringing pressure. Throws right side. It's batted down and incomplete.
Yeah, they're running a delayed blitz.
4th down, and Fayetteville's going to bring the punt team out. Looked like it was Logan Jackson who got his hand on the football. So Fayetteville will punt for the first time. James Nolan stands back deep. Patrick Alexander will snap for the Purple Dogs. Back deep for Cabot is Aiden Tatum. Nolan stands on about his own 35. Tatum stands on his own 10. Here's a snap. It's high, and Nolan's just able to get it off against the rush. It's a wobbly kick, but it will take a Fayetteville roll inside the 20 and out of bounds on the final play of the first quarter to the 18-yard line. So, 1 quarter in the book here at Harmon Field, and we're tied 14-14. We're back with the second quarter in a moment. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
We're tied 14-14 as we get ready for the start of the second quarter here at Harmon Field. Second quarter brought to you by Dana Boring at Eagle Bank Mortgage. Now's the best time to kick off your goal of buying a home. Apply online today at danaboring.com. She and her team will get you to the end zone.
Cabot has 10 first downs to our 6. Let's see, 9 rushing yards. 8 rushing yards to 69 for Fayetteville, 167 through the air, 91 for Fayetteville. A little surprised by that.
Panthers will start their fourth drive from their own 17-yard line. McCrory on first down, being pressured, throws over the middle, and that pass is incomplete. Will Caston was bringing pressure. Cole Mobley in coverage. Pass intended for Christopher Fowler.
Thankfully, he turned the wrong way. He turned inside, and the pass was on the outside. If he turns outside, he might be running for a while. It's a different look from what we've seen in the past from Cabot.
Not nearly as reliant on the running game.
No, it's a little surprising.
Second down and 10, and as we say that, here's a
Speak of the
run
devil.
up the middle. Powell with the carry. Several Purple Dogs in on the stop. Jeremiah Williams was one of the first ones there. Cole Mobley. Jax Tidwell also gets up off the bottom of the pile. Short gain up near the 20. It'll bring up third down, and we'll say 8.
Yeah, but you know what? That's fine. If they want to run and just gain 2 yards, we'll take that all day.
Fayetteville's got a big athletic defensive front. It's not going to be easy to run up the middle against them.
No, conditioning's going to really show up in the second half.
3 receivers right side off the left hash. Third down and 8. McCrory being pressured. It's tipped and nearly picked. It was Caston again who got his hands on it.
Good thing, because they had a receiver. Mr. Arnold was by himself.
So Will Caston had the interception earlier. This time a pass breakup on third down, and Cabot's going to bring the punt team out. Blaylock stands back deep to punt this away. He stands on his own 5. Kavian Taylor back deep to return this for Fayetteville, just on the other side of midfield.
That's the same end zone they had trouble
It
punting
is.
out of.
Yeah, we saw 3 safeties on snaps over the head of the punter here 2 years ago. And this is a good snap. Fayetteville bringing pressure, and they nearly got there.
Boy,
This is a
did.
good kick. Kavian Taylor takes it over his shoulder at the 35. Breaks a tackle across the 40. Taylor is going to go out of bounds on the Cabot sideline at the 44, maybe 45-yard line.
It's actually a pretty good return considering the cover. One of the coverage team was right there as he caught it, and he was going backwards. That was a big kick, too.
Cabot's got a great kicking program. You think about Sam Dubrick, who was the punter here 2 years ago. He's with the Razorbacks now. I mean, so.
Yeah. That was 46 yards, according to my stat thing. Program. Yeah, that was all in the air, too. That was no roll.
Nice field position here for Fayetteville. 11 minutes to play before halftime. Purple Dogs have 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Tight end to the left. Ball on the right hash mark. Play action by Hank Hendricks on first down. He's looking deep, going down that way, looking for Whitlow, and it is caught.
What a catch.
Inside the 10.
Well,
Charles
nope.
Whitlow down to the 5-yard line.
Ball came out. I think it is a catch, right? Yep.
Yeah, they're calling it a catch.
Okay.
Cabot thinks it's incomplete, but they've called it a catch on the field.
Okay.
Charles Whitlow with a 50-yard reception. The Purple Dogs are inside the Fayetteville Auto Park Toyota Chevy Red Zone with a First Community Bank first down.
What a throw.
Fayetteville gets up to the line. No need to really go too fast here. There's no replay. I think the Cabot players are beside themselves thinking he didn't catch that pass. It was an incredible catch. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right, tight end to the right. Hendricks with Johnson standing behind him. Cabot shows blitz. We've got some movement up front. Who's it on?
I'm afraid
It's on
gonna be
Fayetteville.
us. Yeah.
Cade Bryant, the tight end, the guilty party. That'll move Fayetteville back to the 10.
Well, not great, but it does give your receivers a little more room to run.
10:28 to play before halftime. We're tied at 14, but first and goal here for Fayetteville at the 10. Hendricks takes the snap. Here's the give to Johnson running right side. Broke a tackle at the 5. Touchdown, Fayetteville. Caleb Johnson goes in from 10 yards out. And the Purple Dogs have gone back up with 10:14 to play before the half.
A little delayed draw again. Great blocking up front.
John Gossett having fun with the new LED lights here at Harmon Field. Nice little touch.
Yeah.
Well,
the way the line's blocking, I think you and I could probably run behind the line.
Here's an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Call Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Patrick Alexander snaps. Woodruff puts it down, and Ethan Farthing puts it through. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm. Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer is on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. 10:14 to play before halftime, and the new score at Harmon Field. Fayetteville 21, Cabot 14. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
10:14 to play before halftime. Fayetteville leading Cabot 21-14 after a 10-yard touchdown run by Caleb Johnson. Here's Powell on the kickoff return from the 6, back out across the 15, the 20, and he'll barrel forward to the 22-yard line.
Man, they don't take much of a break, do they?
Autoplex Collision Repair is committed to providing the best customer service through every step of the repair process. With locations throughout Northwest Arkansas, visit fixrex.com to schedule your repair today.
2 plays, 56 yards on that scoring drive for Fayetteville. Kenyon Johnson, 3 carries, 37 yards. Caleb Johnson, 2 carries, 49 yards. Hank Hendricks, 7 of 11 for 142 and a score.
Kendrick Williams back on the field for Fayetteville, so that's good to see. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right here for Cabot. McCrory takes the snap on first down, gives to Davenport, not much there. Will Caston and Jeremiah Williams combined to take him down at the 25-yard line after a gain of 2.
They're not getting the big push they were getting earlier. The Bulldog defensive line has made some adjustments.
2nd and 8 here for Cabot as the clock runs. 9:41 to play before halftime. 2 tight ends in here, 2 receivers. McCrory takes a low snap, being pressured. Steps to the left side, throws it away, and it's picked. Caston at the 20, the 10, touchdown, Fayetteville. Will Caston with his 2nd pick of the night. This one a pick 6, and Fayetteville goes up by 2 scores.
Wow, he tried to make a push pass, and
he was trying to throw it into the turf, Blair, and Will Caston just flashed through there with a 25-yard interception return.
Thought he was trying to push it to his receiver. But either way, Will was right there and made a heck of a play.
Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Call Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Ethan Farthing on for his 4th extra point attempt of the night. How about this game for Will Caston?
Yeah, boy, it's just sucked the life right out of the Cabot sideline.
Ball is down, kick is on the way, and he pushed it left, no good. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm. Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer is on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. We do have a whistle. And, well, they're just going to say the extra point's no good. We already knew that. 9:26 to play before halftime. Our new score here at Harmon Field. Fayetteville 27, Cabot 14. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
I think we see why Will Caston has an offer from the Razorbacks now.
Yeah.
Here's Jack Billings' kickoff. It's high end over end. It will be fielded at the 5-yard line, back across the 10, the 15. Arnold to the 20, and then taken down at the 22-yard line. Purple Dogs bring their best to the field every night, and Crane Buick GMC in Springdale brings their best every day as well. The best selection on new and pre-owned vehicles from trucks to SUVs like GMC Sierra, Yukon, Acadia, Buick Encore, and Envision. The best inventory at the best prices and the best service hands down. Save thousands and lower your payments every single day. For your vehicle needs, Crane Buick GMC in Springdale. Will Caston, 2 interceptions tonight. He's got his hand on the ball 3 times, and he had the pick 6 that time.
It's still the first half. He can still wreak some more damage.
9:19 to play in the first half. Fayetteville leading 27-14 on first down. Davenport gets the carry, and he's going to be upended near the line of scrimmage. Taken down by Grayson Jerry. They'll give him a yard out to the 23, and it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, they are just kind of in shock right now on the Cabot sideline. No emotion over there.
Two receivers, 2 tight ends in. McCrory takes the snap. 3-man rush. He's got plenty of time. Throws across the 25. It's caught out near the 30. Charlie Garden makes a stop on the catch that time for the Panthers. Still trying to see who he is.
22. Braden Davenport.
Nate Fitch made the
Nate
catch.
Fitch?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nate Fitch.
Oh, I
We've
was
got an
looking at the
injured
wrong guy.
player. We're told we have an injured player on the field, but I don't see one, Blair.
No, I don't either. Unless it's, well, I don't know.
The players go over to their sidelines. They'll get a quick water break, if nothing else. Gives us a chance to tell you about United Country NWA Real Estate. They've been serving Fayetteville, Madison, and Washington County since 1928, selling homes, farms, recreational properties, and land. A proud supporter of the Purple Dogs. You can visit them online at nwahomeandfarm.com.
What number is Nathan Fitch?
He's number 48.
48. Okay, thank you. Is it?
Third down for Cabot when play resumes. They've got the ball at about the 30.5-yard line. The Panthers need to get to their own 32.
Yeah, I never saw an injured player, so.
8:31 to play in the first half. Fayetteville ahead 27-14. Here's a Wildcat formation. Powell's going to take it, but we've got movement before the snap. I think he may have flinched.
Yeah, he did.
I think this is going to move Cabot back, although the Cabot people think it's against Fayetteville.
Oh, of course. Neither team ever thinks they commit a penalty, right?
Yeah, the penalty is against Cabot. It's a false start. I think Powell, the running back, took off too early.
Yeah, before the snap. Can't get a running start.
Well, no, now they've said it's against Fayetteville. What is going on here? They said it was a false start against Cabot, and then they changed their mind and said it was against Fayetteville.
I'm confused. Okay.
After the penalty yardage is marked off, they're going to put the ball at the 41-yard line on the Cabot side of the field. 4 wide to the right side, 1 to the left. McCrory with the ball on the shot or on the left hash mark in the shotgun takes a snap. Big pressure. It hit as he throws. It's picked. Oh, tipped and nearly picked. Cannon Moore, the intended receiver. Kendrick Williams had a chance to intercept it, and it was Will Caston who was bringing the pressure that made McCrory rush his throw.
How was that an 11-yard penalty to give him a first down?
I'm not sure what happened there, Blair.
That's
the only thing I can think that may have happened, did they maybe call a false start, and was there a personal foul against Fayetteville?
well, but it was never announced. Yeah, who knows?
Three receivers to the right side, one to the left. Fayetteville shows blitz. Cabot moves a receiver in motion to the left side. McCrory takes the snap, steps up, throwing deep downfield, one-on-one coverage. That could have been OPI, incomplete pass. It was intended for Aiden Tatum. Christian Bailey was back in coverage for the Purple Dogs, and now it's third down.
Jeremiah Conley was putting some pressure on the quarterback, and he was being shoved from behind to kind of misdirect him away from the quarterback, and they got away with it.
Cabot on 3rd and 10. Comes out with 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Ball on the left hash mark. Powell stays in as the running back. 9 on the play clock as McCrory looks toward the sideline and maybe changes the play. 5 on the clock. Takes the snap. Fayetteville brings 4. McCrory being pressured. Now rolls to his right, looking downfield. Now he'll tuck it and run. Breaks a tackle across midfield. He's got a first down to the Fayetteville 46-yard line. He had one-on-one against Spence Palladino and was able to make a cut inside. It's a 15-yard gain for McCrory, and Cabot moves the chains with 8:09 to play before the half.
Kind of a busted play. It worked out in their favor, unfortunately.
From the Fayetteville 46-yard line, 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right, off the right hash. Here's a carry on first down. Davenport with the run, and he is hit in the hole and hit hard. He lost his helmet. Caston made the stop for the Purple Dogs.
Tackle kind of wrapped his arm around the helmet. Boy, we just blew right through their offensive line. I was shocked he even got through the first wave of purple.
It's a 2-yard gain down to the 44. 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. Clock hits 7.5 minutes to play second quarter. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right, tight end to the left. Now they move him in motion. McCrory takes the snap, 3-man rush. Plenty of time, rolls to his right. Now it's starting to break down. He's going to be hit and taken down for a sack. Guess who? Will Caston back at the 46-yard line of Cabot. This is what you call putting putting it on film?
Yeah. Man. Well, McCrory just couldn't make up his mind, couldn't find anybody open, and by the time he realized he needed to go, it was too late.
Caston is all over the field right now. I mean, he's
a one-man wrecking crew.
Best player on the field. 3rd and long from the 46. McCrory steps up against the rush. As he throws, and it is incomplete. Mobley in coverage. Intended for Moore again, making the or bringing pressure for Fayetteville, I should say. Will Price up the middle. Now Cabot's going to have to punt the ball away. Big moment here for Fayetteville, a chance to maybe open this thing up a little bit. Kendrick Williams is back deep. He turned his ankle a little bit earlier, but he looks like he's okay. Blaylock stands back on his 31 to punt this, and now we've got
taking a timeout.
A timeout from Fayetteville. I wonder if they want someone back other than Kendrick Williams.
I don't know. Good question.
Kendrick's playing, and he's playing okay, but you can tell he's still favoring that ankle a little bit. He's got a heavy wrap on him.
That, or they've seen something on film that makes them think, given the field position, that Cabot might try some trickery here. Because let's face it, they need some kind of spark, and this is kind of be an ideal place for it, because if Fayetteville puts another touchdown on the board, that might be lights out at that point. So,
the Bank of Fayetteville is a bank in your corner and a proud supporter of Purple Dog football. Now Kendrick Williams is going to go back again as the punt return. Both teams have used 1 timeout. They both have 2 remaining here with 6:37 to go in the second quarter. Blaylock stands at his own 31. He got a boomer off the last time. Williams is respecting that leg, standing back inside his own 15-yard line. Fayetteville brought pressure the last time and nearly got to it. Watch Charlie Garden off the left side of the Fayetteville rush.
Here they come.
Here's a snap. Fayetteville coming after him. He gets it off. It's a wobbly kick, and that will be fielded by Williams at the 13. He'll just step out of bounds there. Took a little shove at the end, but not enough to warrant a flag. Fayetteville's got possession with 6:28 to play before halftime. Tonight's broadcast of Purple Dog Football presented by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, and by Ozarks Go, a telecommunications subsidiary of Ozarks Electric Cooperative, offering high-speed, reliable, multi-gig internet for Northwest Arkansas. Fayetteville here with 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Out of the shotgun formation, Caleb Johnson will get the call on first down across the 15. And Caleb will be run out of bounds over on the
that ought to be a
sideline.
flag.
It should be a late hit out of bounds, but there's not one.
Come on. That's ridiculous. That should have, oh, there's a flag. Finally.
The flag's in the middle of the field. This is not for what happened over on the sideline.
Well, it should have been. Jeez.
Luis Perez, the right tackle, called for a hold against Fayetteville. And so that'll move the Purple Dogs backward. That'll be a half a distance penalty. It'll put the ball down.
At the 8?
At the 8.
That should have been a late hit, though. He was clearly 4 steps out of bounds.
First down for Fayetteville. First and long. Hendricks is in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Tight end to the left. Johnson stays in as the running back. From the 8-yard line, low snap. Hendricks picks it up, gets away from the rush. Looking downfield, now throws, and that pass is incomplete. Whitlow, the intended receiver, it went through his hands at about the 25-yard line.
It's not really in sync right now.
Second down and 15 upcoming for the Purple Dogs. 6:01 to play, second quarter. Fayetteville leads 27-14. Purple Dogs have scored 3 offensive touchdowns and got a pick 6 a little bit ago. On second down, quick pass out left side. Kenyon Johnson with the catch across the 10, across the 15. He'll get forward to the 17-yard line. Gain of 9, it'll be third down.
Little quick hitter. Hank now 8 of 13 for 151 yards.
Fayetteville has 4 wide here on third down and 6. They need to get to their own 23-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Ball on the left hash. Johnson stays in as the running back. Hendricks takes the snap. Looking left, now rolling to his right. Looking downfield, Hendricks just going to tuck it and run. He gets across the 20, 25, across the 30. Out of bounds on the Cabot sideline. We'll see where they mark him out, but this is going to be a First Community Bank first down for Fayetteville.
Nice job. Nothing was there, and the edge opened up, and he was able to take advantage.
They put the ball down at the 29-yard line, so that was a 12-yard run for Hendricks. Fayetteville up to the line quickly. Trips right, 1 to the left to the open side of the field. Here's a handoff. Caleb Johnson across the 30, 35. Nice run there down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 8. It'll bring up second down and 2. Clock runs, 5:05 to play second quarter. Both teams still with 2 timeouts remaining.
Caleb, 3 carries now, 56 yards.
Purple Dogs bring a receiver out and a tight end in here for second and 2. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Ball in the middle of the hash marks. Play action. Hendricks looking deep downfield, throwing one-on-one. He's got Kenyon Johnson at the 20, inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. First and goal, Fayetteville on a big pass from Hendricks to Kenyon Johnson.
Boy, he throws a beautiful deep ball, doesn't he? Right on the mark.
A 56-yard catch that time for Kenyon Johnson. That's 2 50-yard plus passes for Hendricks. First Community Bank first down for the Purple Dogs inside the Fayetteville Auto Park Toyota Chevy red zone. Fayetteville threatening to blow this thing open at the Cabot 7. 2 receivers right side. Play action. Hendricks looking left, throwing, and it's caught inside the 5, leaning toward the goal line, but short. Down to the 2. It was the tight end, Cade Bright, with a catch. 5-yard gain. It'll bring up second and goal.
That's a tough throw across your body like that. They did a nice job of getting it there.
Clock runs under 4 minutes to play before halftime. Second and goal from the 2. Johnson lines up behind Hendricks in the pistol formation. Two receivers left side, a tight end to the left. They give it to Johnson. Up the middle, he's hitting the backfield and taken down for a loss.
Just wasn't anything there. They stacked the box, and we weren't really able to get a good push.
David Liddell made the stop for Cabot back at the 4. It's a loss of 2, and now it's 3rd and goal.
See if we're maybe trying to spread them out a little bit. We'll run a little RPO here.
Fayetteville brings its tight ends out of the game, brings 2 receivers in. They've got 4 wide to the right side, 1 to the left. Empty backfield for Hank Hendricks off the left hash mark from the 4-yard line. Oh boy, a free rein rush for Cabot. Hendricks going to be hit and taken down at the line of scrimmage. Fayetteville forgot to account for somebody coming off the left side for the Panthers. It looked like it was Liddell again.
Well, they sold out. They sold out, thinking they could get to the quarterback before he can make the throw.
So the Purple Dogs will bring the field goal team on. Ethan Farthing will attempt a 21-yard field goal off the left hash mark. Alexander will snap. Woodruff will hold. It's a low snap. They put the ball down, and the kick is good. A 21-yard field goal by Ethan Farthing with 2:37 to play before the half has extended the Purple Dogs' lead. And our new score here at Harmon Field, Fayetteville 30, Cabot 14. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale, gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
2:37 to play before halftime. Fayetteville leading Cabot 30-14 after a 21-yard field goal by Ethan Farthing.
10 plays, 83 yards on that drive.
Jack Billings to kick it away for the Purple Dogs. High end over end kick will be fielded at the 1-yard line. Across the 5, the 10, 15, the 20, the 25, and out near the 30-yard line. Hart with the return. They'll mark him down at the 29. Cole Mobley made the stop. Darren McFadden, the great Razorback running back, is on the field here at Harmon.
Royalty.
I bet the Purple Dogs might like to get him a helmet.
Oh.
he and Casey Dick, obviously former teammates at Arkansas. McFadden in town for the Razorback game tomorrow. Taking in some Purple Dog football tonight.
Yep. 97 yards rushing for the Dogs, 212 through the air. Cabot's rushed for 19 and thrown for 174.
3 receivers left side, tight end to the right. Ball on the right hash from the Cabot 29, first down. McCrory in the shotgun gets to Powell, running right side across the 30, broke a tackle. Powell's a load to bring down. He'll get forward to the Cabot 37, maybe 38-yard line before Jax Tidwell takes him down.
He 6 carries for 20 yards, but man, he earns every one of those 20 yards.
8-yard gain there, 2nd and 2 for the Panthers. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Ball on the right hash. Here's the snap. They'll give it to Powell again, running right side again, across the 40, and a flag comes out behind the play. Powell's got first down yardage, but we've got to see what the penalty is. It's thrown where you would think it might be a hold.
Yeah. And that is the call.
Nate Fitch, the tight end, called for a hold. And so that will move Cabot back and negate the first down run. 2:14 to play before halftime. Fayetteville leading 30-14.
You mentioned the running by Powell. The pass catching's what's been the bugaboo. He's 4 catches for 103 yards.
2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Tight end to the right. 2nd down and 9. Here's a pass out in the flat to Powell. And he's going to be tripped up right around the line of scrimmage, taken down at the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. That was a nice open field tackle, though, that time by Trey Byers. Powell not easy to bring down.
No.
It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Cabot. Now Fayetteville, you start to think about you use one of these timeouts if you get a 3rd down stop.
Yeah.
3 receivers to the right side. Now they empty the backfield and move Powell out to the left. They throw left side. It's caught, but short of the 1st down marker. Taken down at the Cabot 35-yard line. Arnold made the catch. Price made the stop for Fayetteville. It's 4th and 4.
Great job by Will. He just wrapped him up, and there was no yards after catch.
And the tackle was made out of bounds, so Fayetteville did not have to use a timeout. The clock stops with 1:21 to play. Blaylock back deep to punt this for Cabot. He stands on his own 20. Kendrick Williams back deep to return for the Purple Dogs.
I think we're probably going to set up more for a return than we would a block.
Just 5 on the play clock. Cabot, they may not get this off. They're going to have to take a timeout.
They are not happy.
Cabot uses its 2nd timeout. A little bit of confusion there, trying to get lined up.
But you'd rather burn that timeout than try to rush it and have the kicker, shank one off the side of his foot. Though if you're Fayetteville, you'd like to see that.
So 1:21 to play in the first half. Fayetteville's going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts left. This offense certainly can move down the field in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. Plus, you can set up a little bit of return maybe, too, if you want to.
We've seen 2 Fayetteville passes go for at least 50 yards tonight. A 50-yard catch by Charles Whitlow, a 56-yard catch by Kenyon Johnson.
Yeah, Whitlow leads all the receivers. 3 catches, 79 yards. Johnson, 2 catches, 65 yards. Hendricks, 10 of 15 for 212 yards and 1 touchdown in his debut first half so far.
Blaylock back now to punt the ball for Cabot. It's a good snap. Fayetteville only brings a slight rush. Williams will field it at the 28, across the 30, 35. Williams falls forward near the 40, and that's where Fayetteville will start with 1:11 to play before the half. I wanted to mention this a minute ago. Ethan Farthing with that 21-yard field goal. The last time that he made a field goal in a game, Blair, you remember this? For Woodland last year in the 8th grade conference championship, he kicked a 29-yard field goal with 40 seconds to play to give Woodland the conference title, and it was a field goal that would have been good from over 40 yards.
Yeah, he boomed it. He's got a good leg, and it's going to get stronger too. Ooh, it's really getting dark out there, isn't it?
So they will put the ball down at the 39-yard line. Fayetteville with 3 receivers to the left side and 1 to the right. Hendricks in the shotgun, goes play action, quick pass out left side to Kenyon Johnson. It was incomplete.
Tried to run too soon. He's looking downfield instead of catching the ball, and he's catching an earful from the coaches.
He wouldn't have gotten much had he been able to bring the ball in. 2nd and 10 here for Fayetteville. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Ball on the right hash. Johnson, the running back. Hendricks looking to throw downfield for Kenyon Johnson, and he couldn't bring that one in at the Cabot 40. He was open, but the ball was just underthrown a little bit.
Yeah, just a skosh underthrown, or that would have been a nice big gain.
So 3rd and 10 here for Fayetteville after a couple of quick incompletions. Purple Dogs need to get to their own 49.
Good protection, though.
We'll see if Fayetteville stays aggressive, or do they maybe run it and make Cabot use a timeout. 2 receivers to each side, ball on the right hash. I think we know Fayetteville's going to keep their foot down on the pedal.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Change the play.
Down to 5 on the play clock. Hendricks in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Play action. Cabot brings 4. Hendricks throws deep downfield. It is caught at the 30. Nicholson at the 25. Inside the Cabot 20 and down to the 19-yard line. Again, Hank Hendricks with a big strike down the middle of the field.
Great protection.
42 yards that time to Nicholson. Purple Dogs inside the Fayetteville Auto Park Toyota Chevy Red Zone with a First Community Bank first down. 4 wide, 47 seconds to play. Hendricks takes the snap, quick pass left side. Whitlow at the 15, Whitlow at the 10, And this is going to be another First Community Bank first down for Fayetteville. Whitlow down to the Cabot 8. 39 seconds to play in the half. Fayetteville holding on to those timeouts. They've got 2.
Boy, Hank lost it momentarily and then pulled it back in and fired a dart.
3 receivers right side, 1 to the left. With those timeouts, you can still run it. Johnson in as the running back. Hendricks takes the snap, looking left side toward the end zone, and in and out of the hands of Whitlow.
Good throw, just couldn't pull it in.
Incomplete pass stops the clock with 21 seconds to play in the half. Fayetteville leading Cabot 30-14, trying to make it more.
Great pocket presence by Hank. I mean, just kind of like Drake Lindsay, he just doesn't get rattled back there.
They've had so much success running the ball, Blair. I wonder with those timeouts if we see it right here. 3 receivers right side. Nope, it's a pass. Rolling right, looking back left. Hendricks gets away from pressure momentarily, now throwing it up toward the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah. And that's how you throw it away.
Flag down. You know, Fayetteville had an offensive lineman in the back of the end zone. I wonder if this might be an eligible receiver downfield.
It may well be.
I think it's going to be.
Yep.
Well, they called it against Reese Knight, the center, but Drake Osborne, who is their left tackle, he was on the white of the back of the end zone. I don't know if he was being pulled or pushed or what, but that's what happens when the quarterback has to start scrambling around. Interesting. So Cabot's going to decline the penalty.
Yeah.
And make it 3rd down, but it keeps Fayetteville closer to the end zone instead of at the 13.
Yeah.
The Purple Dogs still have it at the 8. 3rd and goal. 3 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Johnson, the running back.
Well, I think that's respect for the Fayetteville offense.
Hendricks off the left hash mark, takes the snap, looking to throw left side toward the end zone. Touchdown, Fayetteville! Charles Whitlow with an 8-yard touchdown catch. And Fayetteville's blown it open now. Hendricks just hit him perfectly on the slant.
13 of 22 for 272 yards. That was 7 plays and 60 yards.
Here's an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Called Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Well, it's a 2-point conversion. Jeremy sponsors those too. Fayetteville leaves the offense out here. Hendricks in the shotgun, looks right side toward Caleb Johnson, incomplete out in the flat. You got a little shove at the end. 2-point conversion, no good. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. 10 seconds to play before halftime. The new score here at Harmon Field, Fayetteville 36, Cabot 14. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
10 seconds to play in the first half. Fayetteville leading Cabot 36-14. The Purple Dogs have outscored the Panthers 22-0 in this quarter.
Yeah, they've blown this one open.
Jack Billings kicks it away. It's a squib kick, and it will be fielded at the 26 across the 30, 35, 40 to the 42-yard line. Aiden Tatum made the return that time for Cabot. Mike Stout made the stop for Fayetteville. 5 seconds to play before halftime.
Take a knee or take a shot?
I think you're down this much, you got to take a shot.
Yeah.
They've got 5 wide, empty backfield. Fayetteville safety's playing up a little bit farther than you would think they might.
Yeah.
McCrory on what should be the final play of the half, throwing deep downfield, and it is intercepted at the 20-yard line. We'll see who came away with that for the Purple Dogs. It was Trey Byers. Sorry, it was Brody Jones with the interception. Brody Jones made the pick for Fayetteville. And on the final play of the half, that was just kind of one play encapsulates how the entire quarter went for Fayetteville. It was all Purple Dogs in the second quarter, and they will take a 36-14 lead here to the locker room up over Cabot. And Fayetteville gets the ball first in the second half.
Nice. Great first half. I mean,
couldn't ask for much more.
No, I mean, you had a couple moments you kind of expected, but, man, they came – oh, they're recognizing Mr. McFadden.
Darren McFadden being recognized at midfield here. All right, and with that, we'll head to the break. Fayetteville leading Cabot 36-14. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in Northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is a home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale, gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in Northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale, gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
It's halftime at Harmon Field. Fayetteville leads Cabot 36-14. Purple Dogs a 22-0 second quarter, and they've got control. They'll have the ball first in the second half.
13 first downs for the Dogs, 12 for the Panthers, 28 rushing yards on 16 carries for Cabot, 11 catches for 179 yards. Cooper Powell, 6 carries, 20 yards. Maddox McCoy, 11 of 22 for 179 and a score. For the Bulldogs, 10 rushes for 97 yards, 13 catches for 272 yards. Caleb Johnson, 4 carries, 54 yards, 2 scores. Kenyon Johnson, 3 carries, 37 yards, no scores. Hank Hendricks has run 3 times for 6 yards. He's completed 13 of 22 passes for 272 yards and 2 scores. Charles Whitlow has caught 5 passes for 98 yards and 2 scores. Johnson, 2 catches, 65 yards. Kavian Taylor, 3 catches, 53. Jaden Henderson, Nicholson, 2 catches, 51 yards. Cade Bright, 1 catch and 5 yards. Very nice. Scores across 7A that I can find. Bentonville leads Union in Tulsa, 14-7. West and Greenwood tied at 28. That was a little bit of a surprise. Rogers leads North Little Rock at home, 21-3. Siloam Springs leads Heritage, 21-0. Little Rock Central leads Springdale, 13-0. Broken Arrow, who we'll see next week, is at Harbor. They lead the Wildcats 14-7. They're already in the third quarter. Alma leads Van Buren 22-14. Get this. Joe T. Robinson 30, Pulaski Academy 14. That's a little bit of a shock. And then Southside leads Northside 13-0.
I'm still always thrown off by the Battle of Rogers Avenue being the first game of the year.
Yeah, kind of wild.
Just never think of that.
Yeah, and
being that way.
I think the Mavericks are looking to make it a three-peat in that series. So that's a look. Well, again, the one we're trying to keep an eye on is the Harbor Broken Arrow game, because Broken Arrow comes here next week, and then of course Harbor comes here to end the season. That'll be. It seems a long way away, but it'll be here, unfortunately, before we know it. But, man, what a first half for the Bulldogs. They looked really, really good.
And, again, the 2 touchdown drives by Cabot in the first quarter were aided by Fayetteville penalties. You think if Fayetteville's playing a little bit cleaner, they might have a shutout going right now.
First game jitters, you know. There were a couple busted coverages and whatnot. But I think the 22-0 second quarter, more indicative of what we expected as opposed to the 14-14 first quarter.
And again, Fayetteville will get the ball first in the second half. The Fayetteville players starting to make their way back out on the field for the second half. They'll stretch as the Fayetteville band continues to play on the field. We'll step away again for just a moment. Again, our score, Fayetteville 36, Cabot 14. This is Purple Dog football.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale, gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
And we're back at Harmon Field getting ready for the start of the second half. Just 30 seconds left on the halftime clock, but they'll put an extra few minutes on for the teams to have a warm-up period too. Fayetteville leading Cabot 36-14. If you joined us late, you missed a lot. A great offensive performance by Hank Hendricks and the Fayetteville offense in the first half. And then, Blair, I think equally as impressive has been the defensive performance by Will Caston.
Oh, he's been a one-man gang out there. I mean, 2 interceptions and just wreaking havoc. This is going to be a fun year. This team is going to be fun to watch.
Saw a couple of Fayetteville defenders being checked out on the sideline for the better part of the second quarter. You saw Chris Anderson go down in back-to-back plays with Kendrick Williams. Kendrick Williams came back into the game. Anderson never did. Looked like they had some ice on his knee. And then Grayson Jerry, who is trying to warm up here on the sideline right now, he was held out for a good portion of the second half too.
Great crowd on hand. Everybody's smiling. I see some fans waving. Is it that warm out there?
It is warm, yes. I stepped out there at halftime, and it's a warm night.
Okay. Man, this place looks great. The south end zone, we got to go out there before the game. That is immaculate.
It's got a it's got a small college feel here.
Yes, this is big time. Big time.
Fayetteville players, they're warmed up and ready to go. Cabot hadn't even made it back to the field yet. They're just now making their way over onto the north side of Harmon Field.
Yeah, they don't need to warm up. they're Panthers.
You know, this is the advantage of being at home.
Oh yeah.
Is you get your locker room close to the field and you send the visitors off a little ways.
Yeah, I mean it is a little bit of a trek for the visitors because they're in the indoor,
which is back behind the stadium, so they've got to go across a little bit of a driveway and.
Well, and I guess the locker room is on the baseball field side, so you've actually got to kind of almost walk around half the building just to get into the parking lot to go up the hill about, I don't know, 30 yards and then into the stadium.
Cabot players out there going through their second half warm-ups.
The officials everybody's ready but Cabot.
I mean, I think the Fayetteville players, they may be lined up for the kickoff return before Cabot gets out of the stretch lines.
Yeah. Well, I know the officials are ready to go.
A little bit of a, I wouldn't say it was a long first half, but it was certainly a long first quarter.
Yeah. The second quarter was a little long too, but it was a good one.
Again, Fayetteville will receive the second half kickoff. Purple Dogs leading right now by 22. You start to think about, can they get a score and a stop and give themselves a chance to get to the mercy rule where they would have a running clock.
Broken Arrow has scored again, so they lead Harbor 21-7. Cabot, speaking of the mercy rule, 5 times last year they were mercy ruled.
Yeah, I would venture to guess that they didn't get mercy ruled a whole lot under Mike Malum, if for no other reason, Blair.
You couldn't.
Then, well, what I'm saying is
they ran clock.
They ran
the ball.
clock.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Of course, they were kind of beating everybody up back when he was roaming the sidelines. It was.
Boy, he had such a great run down there.
Yeah.
38 years as their head coach.
I don't know if we'll see that anymore. It's amazing how the game has changed. I mean, think about it. It was so run-oriented back then, and now it's like if you run, it's almost an accident.
The story goes that I've heard from people in that area is that he and Bernie Cox at Little Rock Central, they'd get together before the game. I see you've added a new play this year. Yes, I see you've added one too.
Oh, man. The stories they could tell.
Fayetteville's ready to go. Cabot making its way out onto the field now. Kavian Taylor, Kenyon Johnson, and Caleb Johnson are all back deep for Fayetteville. Fayetteville with a 3 return man formation here. Caleb Johnson's stands about 10 to 12 yards in front of the other two, but they can get creative here.
Yeah.
Certainly something worth a watch. And all 3 of these guys who are back deep, they can really move in the open field.
And then the 3 guys kind of in the mid-level have kind of backed up a little bit too, so.
Here's the second half kickoff, and that's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. Second half kickoff brought to you by Square One Truss Incorporated, a wood truss manufacturing facility serving Northwest Arkansas, Southwest Missouri, and Eastern Oklahoma. SquareOneTruss.com. Third quarter brought to you by Nutriment. Call Nutriment today for all your lawn service needs. 479-365-2222. That's 479-365-2222. Nutriment's a proud supporter of Purple Dog football.
And if you missed it last night, Drake Lindsay made his debut for Minnesota and had a very nice game.
Drake's dad in attendance here, sitting just down to our right.
Okay.
2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, tight end to the right. Hendricks in the shotgun formation on first down. Here's a pass, right side, down the field, and he just overshot Kenyon Johnson, who had about 2 steps on the defensive back.
And John David was at the game in Minneapolis last night, so he's all over the place. Good for him.
Saw both of the Lindsay brothers here earlier.
Tim Brando mentioned talking to both of them before the game last night.
You got a Lindsay family biography on that
my gosh,
broadcast.
Yeah, it was almost like an infomercial. It was awesome.
4 wide. Here's play action. Hendricks throwing to the right side. It's incomplete. He was being pressured and had to just let it go.
Yeah.
Intentionally overshot his receiver.
Yeah, well, both of them were blocking. I think it was, I don't know if everybody was on the same page there. The receivers were acting like it was a tunnel screen, but there was no one back to take a screen pass.
2 quick incompletions here in the third quarter. It's 3rd down and 10 for Fayetteville. Purple Dogs have been good on 3rd and long tonight. They've had some of their best plays on 3rd down. 2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. From the 20-yard line, Hendricks against a 5-man rush, throws over the middle, and that pass is incomplete. He was hit before the ball got there, and there's no flag.
Yeah.
Kavian Taylor, the intended receiver. In coverage that time for Cabot was Mason Hutchison. And so Fayetteville's going to go 3 and out to start the second half, and we'll have to punt the ball away. James Nolan stands back on his own 5-yard line. Cabot anticipating they're going to get good field position here with the returner standing at midfield. Here's a snap by Alexander. Nolan gets it off against the rush. It's going to go over the head of the returner. He goes back and has to fair catch it at the 38. They'll mark it at the 39, but that's a great punt that time for Nolan. A net of 41 yards. And Cabot has the ball with 11:37 to play in the third quarter. United Country NWA Real Estate has been serving Fayetteville as well as Madison and Washington County since 1928, selling homes, farms, recreational properties, and land. They're a proud supporter of the Purple Dogs. You can visit them online at nwahomeandfarm.com. 4 wide receivers to the right side here for Cabot on first down. We've got flags everywhere, and this will be a false start against the Panthers. False start against Preston Collins, junior offensive lineman.
Yeah, get a stop here. Get that ball back. Don't give them any opportunity to get any kind of momentum going.
Penalty yards will move Cabot back to the 34-yard line. It'll be first down and 15. 4 wide for the Panthers, 2 to each side. McCrory stands in the shotgun formation, takes the snap. Fayetteville brings 4. McCrory Good pocket. Now it starts to break down. He rolls to his right, looking downfield as he's hit, and that pass is, boy, looked incomplete. They're going to give him the catch, though. They're going to give him the catch. It looked to me like it hopped off the turf, but Powell was able to sell it, and they're going to give him a catch at the 45 of Cabot. Fayetteville coaches are not happy.
No, I don't blame him. The official that was signaling catch was on the Fayetteville sideline.
There just was not a good, well, and the other thing was he was behind the play, Blair. There just was nobody down the line with a good view.
Yeah, great point.
11-yard gain there, 2nd down and 4 for the Panthers. 2 receivers left side, 2 tight ends in on the formation. They go play action, quick pass over the middle, incomplete.
Behind his receiver. Took a hit, too.
Charlie Garton in coverage. Aiden Tatum was the intended receiver. It's 3rd down and 4.
Will Price popped him pretty good right as he was throwing it.
10:55 to play, 3rd quarter. Fayetteville leads 36-14. It's 3rd down and 4 for Cabot. Panthers need to get to their own 49 to move the chains. Probably 4 down territory right here. 2 receivers left side, 2 tight ends in. They give it to Powell. Runs right side, and there's nothing there for him, although he pushes the pile forward a little bit. Well, he got a great spot up to the 48-yard line.
Did he ever?
Several Purple Dogs in on the stop. Will Price was there. Cole Mobley also in on the stop.
I'm not sure he ever got past the 47.
4th down and a yard for Cabot. No hesitation. The Panthers, I think they ran it there because they knew they were going to go for it on 4th down. Look at this. Jumbo package in. They've got 2 running backs, 2 tight ends to the right side of the formation. Shotgun. Here's the give. Powell goes left. He's got the 1st down across midfield. Broken tackle, broke another across the 40, and down to the 37. Cole Mobley made the stop. It's a 15-yard gain, though, for Cabot to the Fayetteville 38-yard line, 37-yard line.
Boy, he gets ahead of steam.
Cabot not going quite at the pace they were in the first half, a little bit more methodical here.
Yeah, this is more like what we've seen in the past.
2 receivers, 2 tight ends here on 1st down. They go play action, quick pass, right side, incomplete. Boy, I tell you what, C.J. Bailey knocked it away, and had he been looking toward the ball, Blair, he might have picked it and taken it back.
Yeah. Good defense.
Tatum, the intended receiver that time for Cabot, 2nd down and 10.
Harbor scored 21-14.
2 wide to the right side, 1 to the left here on 2nd down. McCrory takes the snap, throws to the left side, and that pass is incomplete right through the hands of the intended receiver, tight end Grady Smith.
It's like he never saw it.
That's 3rd down for Cabot.
Well, it's a break for us. He would have had the 1st down if he holds on, if he could corral that.
3rd and 10. Panthers need to get to the Fayetteville 27-yard line. The bells ring at Harmon Field. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. They keep a running back in. That's Davenport. Ball on the left hash to move a receiver in motion to the left. McCrory on 3rd down, being blitzed, steps up. Now he's going to run, gets away from the first wave, gets good
ball's on the turf.
32. The ball's out. Fayetteville's got it. There's a flag down, too. Lot to sort out right here. Was he down? I think he was down, Blair. I don't think they're going to give Fayetteville the football.
Yeah, I think.
And we've got to see what the flag is that came in from the secondary.
Yeah, I think you're right. The knee was down. Ooh. Ouch.
So again, Fayetteville with a critical penalty that allows Cabot to convert a 3rd down, a face mask penalty. They did not say who it was against, but the result of the run plus the penalty yardage will move Cabot up inside the red zone. The Panthers are at the Fayetteville 17. 2 wide to the left side, 1 to the right. On 1st down, here's a give to Davenport, trying to bounce outside, and he won't. Well, he does. He got past the first wave of defenders across the 15, and down near the 13-yard line. C.J. Bailey took him down. Gain of 4 that time for Davenport. 2nd down and 6. Looked like he wasn't going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Clock runs with 8:55 to play third quarter. Second down and 6 here for Cabot. They give it to Davenport again up the middle across the 10. Davenport down near the 5. And this is going to be a 1st and goal for Cabot. Braden Davenport with a couple of tough runs there. That one inside zone. And now Cabot knocking on the door, trying to cut into this 22-point Fayetteville lead.
And now the big back is back in there.
Powell checks in. They bring in a couple of tight ends, too. 3 of them, actually.
Oh, my, jumbo package.
And now they're going to go Wildcat in front of Darren McFadden, who's standing right down the line. Here's Powell, takes the snap up the middle, touchdown Cabot. Well, D-Mac says, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Cooper Powell goes in from 6 yards out, and Cabot with a nice response here to open the second half. Extra point attempt upcoming here for the Panthers. Dean Heyer is the kicker. Lucas Blaylock, the punter, will hold.
A little surprised they don't go for 2.
Here's the ball's down. The kick is on the way, and it's good. 8:22 to play third quarter. The new score here at Harmon Field, Fayetteville 36, Cabot 21. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
As the lights flicker.
8:22 to play third quarter. Fayetteville leading Cabot 36-21. Purple Dogs went 3 and out on their first drive of the second half. Cabot responded with an impressive touchdown drive.
Yes, they did. 10 plays, 66 yards. Broken Arrow scored again. Now they lead Harbor 28-14. Again, we see the Tigers of Broken Arrow next week.
Broken Arrow, their offensive coordinator is Jay Wilkinson. So that'll be kind of a fun reunion next week.
Yes, it will.
Although I don't think anybody's ever said it's fun going against Jay Wilkinson's offense.
Oh, well, I said, surprised they didn't go for 2, but looking at the situational chart, you kick when you're down 15. So I guess you go for 2 if you cut into that. So interesting.
Fayetteville may want to watch against an onside right here.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Heyer is the one who is kicking this off. Blaylock has been their normal kickoff guy.
Yep.
And there it is.
Called it.
There's a high bounce. It's up in the air, and
got
Fayetteville, I believe, came away with it.
Yeah, we've got it at our own 40. I'm not sure if they're going to have to pile everybody.
Jamin Simpson came away with it for the Purple Dogs. You know, we think it's Jamin Simpson. There's 2 28s on the roster, and I'm not sure which one is on the hands team, he or Clark Crawley. But Fayetteville does come away with the ball at the 41-yard line. They switch kickers.
On the hands team.
They switch kickers, Blair, and that's a
yeah.
Cabot just trying to capitalize on the momentum that it had.
Oh, you don't blame them.
3 receivers left side. Now they bring Caleb Johnson in motion back toward Hendricks in the shotgun formation. Fayetteville from its own 41. Play action, quick pass left side. Kenyon Johnson with the catch, and he steps out of bounds at the Fayetteville 45. 4-yard catch for Kenyon Johnson. It'll bring up second down and 6.
And that was actually a pretty good onside kick, too. It was up in the air. And
it's exactly how you want it.
Our guy had to go get it because there were some Panthers lurking.
2 receivers left side. Hendricks on second down. Turns around, gives it to Caleb Johnson. Cross midfield. Caleb Johnson with a First Community Bank first down. Up toward the 46-yard line of Cabot. There's some pushing and shoving after the play. 9-yard gain by Caleb. And that moves the chains. Caleb Johnson and Kenyon Johnson are twin brothers, Blair, and Fayetteville has had a lot of success during the Casey Dick era with twin brothers.
True.
Talk about that here in just a minute. First down from the 46. Here's Caleb again. Gets across the 45, the 40, moves the pile forward down to the 37-yard line.
Going a little more up tempo. Man, when they go up tempo, I mean, the offense really seems to function better.
They had actually moved that last run down to the 44, so that was a 7-yard run for Caleb, an 11-yard run the play before. 2nd and 3 here from the 37 of Cabot. Hendricks takes the snap, one-on-one, going deep right side, and the pass is caught inside the 10-yard line.
Beautiful.
Down to the 5, Kavian Taylor.
They're trying to say he was out of bounds, but no, he made.
There were 2 officials right there on top of it.
Great footwork. That was a phenomenal pass and phenomenal catch.
Boy, Hank Hendricks has just been putting on a clinic here tonight.
Man, he's
32 yards that time to Katavian.
Beautiful. Only where his guy could get it, and Katavian made a great catch.
Caleb Johnson, the running back, Fayetteville here from the 5 inside the Fayetteville Auto Park Toyota Chevy red zone. Johnson gets the call, and Cabot read that one well. Yeah. Several Panthers in there to take him down. Never went down, but his forward progress will stop at the 7.
Yeah, that wasn't going anywhere, unfortunately.
That 32-yard pass to Katavian Taylor gave Fayetteville another First Community Bank first down.
And that put Hank over 300 yards for the night.
He's got at least 4 passes tonight, Blair, of 32 yards or more. He's had a 32-yarder, a 42-yarder, a 50-yarder, and a 56-yarder, and maybe another one that I'm forgetting about. 2 receivers left side, 2 to the right. Now they move Johnson out of the backfield to empty it. On 2nd down, they throw it to Taylor right side, evades the first defender, but he won't get past the second.
Just not a lot there.
Gets back to the 8-yard line, no gain, and it'll bring up 3rd and goal. Clock runs, 6:37 to play 3rd quarter. Fayetteville leading Cabot 36-21. Purple Dogs trying to add to that lead right here. Three receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. That's Taylor. Ball's on the right hash. Caleb Johnson stays in as the running back. From the Cabot 8-yard line, Hendricks in the shotgun, takes the snap, throwing left side, wide open, Kenyon Johnson, and he underthrew it. Kenyon Johnson, the ball was underthrown, and Kenyon fell down. If that's a perfect pass,
he walks in.
He walks in. I mean, there was nobody within 10 yards of him.
Kind of spun him around, and he lost his balance.
So Fayetteville's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt here. This is Ethan Farthing back on. He was good from 21 earlier on this side of the field. That was off the left hash. This time it's going to be off the right hash. Patrick Alexander will snap. William Woodruff will hold. Put the ball down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. A 25-yard field goal by Ethan Farthing, his 2nd of the night, has increased Fayetteville's lead. Our score now is 6:06 to play in the 3rd quarter. Fayetteville 39, Cabot 21. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started.
When you have the support of a community, anything is possible.
First Community Bank, where community comes first.
And we're back at Harmon Field. 6:06 to play 3rd quarter. Fayetteville leads Cabot 39-21.
8 plays, 52 yards, but you wanted 6. You'll take 3, but you really wanted 6.
I might be forgetting an instance here, Blair. It's a Billings kick is going to be fielded at the 12, back across the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, and it's a good return by Aeneas Arnold back out to the 35-yard line. Stout made the stop for Fayetteville. I can't remember a time under Casey Dick when they've kicked 2 field goals in a game.
That's a very good point. I mean, there have been seasons they haven't kicked 2 field goals.
Well, you remember when they beat Conway here to go to the state title game in 2021.
Yeah, that was the first field goal.
It was the first field goal of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, you talk about a high-powered offense, and then you add the kicking game to it. Man, It's a huge advantage.
So from the 35-yard line, 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left here for Cabot. 6:01 to play third quarter. First down, play action. McCrory being pressured, throws downfield, one-on-one, and he just overthrew his wide receiver. It was intended for Bentley Harrell. Cole Mobley back deep for Fayetteville.
Had a little pressure coming from the edges. Might have forced it a little bit. I like the way Fayetteville's mixing up the pressure. It's keeping him off balance.
Bank of Fayetteville is a bank in your corner and a proud supporter of Purple Dog football. 2nd and 10 here for Cabot from its own 35. 2 receivers right side. Now they move a receiver in motion to the left. McCrory gives it to Powell, running left side. Bounces off a tackler, gets wide across the 35, but he won't get much. Out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Charlie Garden and Brody Jones combined to make the stop for the Purple Dogs. It's a gain of 2. 3rd down and 8.
Good job of spreading him out, forcing him toward the sideline and not letting him go up field.
The bells ring at Harmon Field. 2 receivers right side, 2 to the left. Powell stays in as the running back. Now they move a receiver in motion to the right side. McCrory looking left. There's Powell wide open in the flat again across midfield. The 40 of Fayetteville cuts inside. Brody Jones with a nice tackle at the 31-yard line. But Powell has been a real weapon in the passing game for Cabot.
Man, a little wheel route.
losing. 32 yards that time.
Probably see that tomorrow a few times, I would imagine, over at Razorback Stadium.
Clock running, 5:05 to play third quarter. Cabot with first down at the Fayetteville 31. 3 receivers to the right side. Davenport's come in as the running back. They fake it to him, looking right, hit as he throws, and the pass is caught up to the 25-yard line. Bentley Harrell with the catch. Garden took him down. 6-yard gain. 2nd down and 4.
He wanted to go deep, but we had some pressure on him, so he immediately checked down through the short receiver.
Cabot's got 2 receivers to the right side, a tight end and a receiver to the left on 2nd down. Davenport will get the call, goes left side, hit in the backfield and taken down for a loss. Brody Jones took him down back at the 27-yard line. A loss of 2, and now it's 3rd down. Third down and 6 here for the Panthers. They need to get to the Fayetteville 21-yard line. Purple Dogs lead 39-21 as we go under 4 minutes to play third quarter. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. They move a tight end to the left here on 3rd down. McCrory, delayed blitz, looking downfield. Now it's starting to close in on him. He'll roll right. He's going to run across the 30, the 25. He'll step out of bounds. I thought he stepped out short of the first down marker, but, well, I think they're going to give him the first down. Yeah, they're going to say he didn't step out to the 17-yard line. Did a nice little tightrope act down the Fayetteville sideline. And so Cabot will convert it. They've got first down to the Fayetteville 17 inside the red zone.
They had him contained, and it just broke down, unfortunately.
From the 17-yard line, first down for the Panthers. 3 receivers to the left side. McCrory in the shotgun takes the snap. Throws over the middle. He's got a receiver wide open. And I think the receiver just kind of alligator-armed it. Cole Mobley was closing in fast. It was Harold, the intended receiver. That could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, he heard footsteps. But, yeah, the middle was wide open. We were vulnerable, but they couldn't capitalize. They're going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Cabot. 3:37 to play third quarter. We'll step away for 30 seconds. This is Purple Dog football.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
3:37 to play, third quarter. They're having fun with these lights tonight.
Yeah.
First time that we're getting the LED lights.
Lights and the Beastie Boys. What more do you need?
Second down here for Cabot at the Fayetteville 17. Panthers need 10. 3 receivers left side. They're going to give it to Davenport, running to the right. He's going to be hitting the backfield and taken down for a loss. First one there for the Purple Dogs was Will Price.
He's had a great night, hasn't he?
Yes, he certainly has. Loss of a yard on the play. They'll give him the 18-yard line. It's third down and 11.
I'm a little surprised Powell hasn't gotten back in the game.
It's third down.
Third down and 11 here for the Panthers. They need to get to the Fayetteville 7. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. They move a receiver in motion to the left now. McCrory takes the snap against a 3-man rush, throws it out in the flat to Davenport. He just fell down.
He slipped.
Grayson Jerry was out there to get the tackle at the 21-yard line. That's a loss of 3 more. And Cabot's going to bring the field goal unit out.
Yeah, he tried to cut, and his feet just went out from under him.
This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt for Dean Heyer off the left hash mark. They put the ball down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Boy, that would have been good from over 40. Heyer adds to the list of impressive kicks we've had tonight. 38-yard field goal, and with 2:16 to play in the third quarter, the new score, Fayetteville 39, Cabot 24. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
At Mellow Mushroom, we use single-source Appalachian spring water for our out-of-this-world crust. But you didn't need to know that. You'll taste the difference. I mean, it'd be brilliant if you did know that. Come to think of it, you definitely know now, because I just told you.
And we're back at Harmon Field, 2:16 to play in the third quarter. Fayetteville leads Cabot 39-24 on opening night of the 2025 high school football season.
10 plays, 44 yards as both teams have traded field goals now here in the third quarter. Cabot keeps hanging around, which, you know, that's what Scott Reed teams do.
Blaylock back out to kick it away. Heyer was the one who kicked it last time, an onside kick that Fayetteville recovered. This one's going to be fielded at the 6, back out across the 10. Kavian Taylor across the 20, the 25, and he'll be taken down there. They'll give him forward progress up to the 26-yard line. Tonight's broadcast of Purple Dog Football is presented by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, and by Ozarks Go, a telecommunications subsidiary of Ozarks Electric Cooperative, offering high-speed, reliable multi-gig internet for Northwest Arkansas.
Thankfully, the chippiness has kind of disappeared. All right, we need a score on this drive. We need a touchdown.
Hank Hendricks brings the offense back out. Fayetteville with 1st and 10 from its own 26. Ball on the right hash mark. 4 wide, 2 to each side. Caleb Johnson is the running back. Now they'll move Nicholson in motion from the right to the left. On first down, Hendricks takes a low snap, throws down the middle. He's got Kenyon Johnson wide open across midfield. Broken tackle at the 40. Johnson cuts back inside at the 30. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Fayetteville! Boom. A 74-yard touchdown pass from Hank Hendricks to Kenyon Johnson, and Fayetteville with another quick strike.
Boom, beautiful protection, and what a nice throw. A tight spiral. And Johnson made a couple of outstanding cuts. And was able to run it in.
Here's an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Call Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Ethan Farthing on to attempt this one. Looks like Cabot jumped, and they're going to blow this play dead. Now, this is always an interesting dilemma here. But do you take the penalty yardage and go for two?
It looks like that is going to be the case because everybody's coming off.
But also, if you decide to keep your kicker out there, a lot of times you don't want to move it forward because you don't want to mess up anything about the rhythm of the extra point.
True.
And here it is. Fayetteville's declining it, and so they'll try the extra point again.
Okay.
I think. Or are they going to go for two?
Well,
the offense started out there, and now the offense is being called back to the sideline.
They were pleading. They wanted to go out there.
They did. I think they may have just assumed they were going to take the penalty yardage.
Yeah.
All right, so Ethan Farthing, another Anchor Point Financial extra point attempt. This one's blocked. Oh, boy. Blocked. No good. Getting his hand on it that time was David Liddell for Cabot. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm. Fayetteville's #1 auto insurers on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. Minute 52 to play third quarter. And the new score here at Harmon Field, Fayetteville 45, Cabot 24. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
An accident can leave you feeling stuck, uncertain of where you can go. At Autoplex, we specialize in getting your vehicle repaired quickly and accurately. Our expert technicians use the latest tools and OEM parts to restore your car to its pre-accident condition. With precision and care, we ensure your car looks and performs as if the accident never happened. Ready to get your car back on the road? Visit fixrex.com to start your repair today.
Back at Harmon Field, Fayetteville leading Cabot 45-24. Minute 52 to play in the third quarter. There's Jack Billings to kick it away for the Purple Dogs. High end over end kick. It will be fielded at the 1 yard line. Back across the 10, the 15, the 20. Bouncing off a tackler at the 25, 30. And finally taken down. A nice return that time for Cabot. It was Jalen Hart. They'll give the Panthers the 31 yard line. Purple Dogs want to thank John Montez and Mojitos for their pregame meal today. Seems like it's paid off pretty well.
Yeah. Let's do that again.
Blair, I have not seen Will Caston on the field.
Yeah.
In at least the last two drives. He's not out there as this one begins either. He was all over the field in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure what has happened. Will Price has kind of stepped up in his absence.
Cabot from the 31. McCrory takes the snap, being pressured, throws out into the flat. Here's Powell again. Gets across the 35 and forward to the 36 yard line. Brody Jones took him down by the ankles. A 5 yard gain that time. Brings up 2nd and 5.
That's his 8th catch for 153 yards. McCrory's thrown for 230, so.
From the 36 yard line, 2nd down, play action, pass to the right side, and that's incomplete. Tatum, the intended receiver. Cole Mobley's been all over the field for Fayetteville. Knocks that one away. And it'll bring up 3rd down at 5.
Mention McCrory's yardage. Hank Hendricks, 17 of 30 for 382 yards and 3 scores. So he's on pace to go over 400 in his Purple Dog debut.
The Fayetteville band's back from their third quarter snack. They're making a lot of noise back behind the Cabot offense.
Sounded good.
3rd down and 5. Panthers need to get to their 41. 3 receivers right side, 1 left. 4 receivers to the right. Now they bring a receiver in motion. McCrory's going to fake it to him, keep it up the middle. He's hit and taken down in the backfield. Will Price was the first one there, and Jax Tidwell helped take him down. It's going to be a loss back to the 34, and now it's 4th down for Cabot. And there's a Cabot player hurt, and that's McCrory. He's slow to get up. He got accordioned pretty good on that tackle.
Yeah. He's going to be sore tomorrow.
So now this is interesting for Cabot if they want to go for it on 4th down. Here's Will Caston running back out on the field, by the way, for Fayetteville.
Why did they? I was going to say, why did he put the ball at the 35?
Or correction, that's not Caston. I'm sorry. That was a different player. The 34 is the line of scrimmage. So here's what I was going to say, though, Blair, is that if Cabot wants to go for it on 4th down, they're going to have to bring a different quarterback in because McCrory's got to go out for a play.
Yeah, because they did stop the clock.
For the Bulldogs, Kavian Taylor.
They're going to punt it. Blaylock comes out to punt it for Cabot. Kavian Taylor stands back deep. 4th down and 7 here for the Panthers. Blaylock stands inside his own 20. Taylor stands back inside the Fayetteville 30. Blaylock's got off a few pretty good kicks tonight. Here's a little bit of a high snap, but he'll get it off, and this is another good kick. It's angling toward the Cabot sideline.
Get away, get away.
And Kavian Taylor will take it on a bounce at the 30. Gets across the 40, breaking tackles. He's got some blockers. Taylor left side at midfield at the 45, the 40, and run out of bounds at the Fayetteville 30, or the Cabot, 38-yard line.
Wow.
A 32-yard return that time for Kavian. And Fayetteville's in business here with 14 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Hey, Autoplex Collision Repairs committed to providing the best customer service through every step of the repair process. With locations throughout Northwest Arkansas, visit fixrex.com to schedule your repair today.
I almost think he saw him kind of slack off, so he grabbed it on the bounce, which you don't see returners do, and he made him pay.
1st down for Fayetteville. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right from the Cabot 38. Play action. Hendricks being pressured backside, throwing deep downfield, and he overshot Kavian Taylor in the end zone.
Boy, that was beautiful play action.
Hendricks just has beautiful quarterback mechanics.
Yes, and he looks smooth. He doesn't look rattled, and he throws an extremely tight spiral.
You know, one thing that Casey Dick told me was that he's young for his class.
Oh, really?
I mean, he is like the potential for so much is there with him. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Here's 2nd down run. Caleb Johnson across the 30. Johnson with a First Community Bank 1st down as he gets forward to the Cabot 27. Gain of 11 there. Knocked out of bounds with 1 second left in the quarter.
What a tremendous job by the offensive line. Beautiful job of just moving them downfield.
So final play of the quarter here, barring a defensive penalty. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Johnson, play action. They throw right side. Nicholson's going to be hit in the backfield, taken down back at the 30-yard line. Braden McCraw made the stop that time for Cabot. 3 quarters in the books. Fayetteville leading Cabot 45-24, 12 minutes to play. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
The GM Giant, Crane Buick GMC of Springdale gives you that winning feeling when you get huge Crane cash discounts on the best selection of new high-quality Buicks and GMCs. Be the Crane cash champ and save on new Sierras, Yukons, Enclaves, Encores, and more. All backed by the Crane commitment, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now that's winning. That's the GM Giant. Crane Buick GMC of Springdale. Shop Crane Buick GMC of Springdale.com.
We get ready for the start of the 4th quarter with Fayetteville leading Cabot 45-24.
Broken Arrow up 34-14. 35-14. Bentonville up 28-14 at Union. And let's see. Well, they've taken the scoreboard down off the west feed, so I do not know what the score is down there.
Fayetteville School Resource Officer is getting a nice hand as they're recognized here to start the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter brought to you by Everett Infinity of Northwest Arkansas, your hometown luxury dealership right in Rogers. Everett Infinity is proud to support Fayetteville High School football from the first kickoff to the final whistle. Everett Infinity is honored to be a part of the Purple Dog family. Visit them today in Rogers or online at infinitynwa.com. Everett Infinity of Northwest Arkansas. Discover the difference.
Greenwood 35, West 31. Greenwood kicking off to the Wolverines with 8:34 to go and a big return. So that one, we'll keep an eye on that one.
Second down for Fayetteville and 14 from the Cabot 30. Hendricks throws over the middle. It's caught across the 20. This is Avent inside the 10, and he's down near the 5-yard line.
That should put Hank over 400 yards.
Jabron Avent with a 25-yard catch that time. It's a First Community Bank first down. The Purple Dogs are inside the Fayetteville Auto Park Toyota Chevy red zone.
Where did they spot it?
Ball's at the 6-yard line.
Okay.
So first and goal there for Fayetteville. Caleb Johnson stands behind Hendricks in the pistol. Here's the give. Johnson goes right side. Johnson across the 5. Touchdown, Fayetteville. Caleb Johnson with his third touchdown of the night. And with 11:31 to play, Fayetteville adds on to its lead. Purple Dogs have gone over 50.
Caleb Johnson, 9 carries, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hank Hendricks, 19 of 33 passing, 402 yards, 3 scores. Nice. Oh, and a flag has come out. I guess that's going to be a little too much celebration. I think one of the coaches was trying to get him off the field.
Casey Dick having a conversation with about 4 or 5 players who were slow to get off the field. Colby Berna, our referee, about to give us a call. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Here's an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Called Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Ethan Farthing's kick is up, and it is good. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. 11:31 to play at Harmon Field, and the new score, Fayetteville 52, Cabot 24. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Family teaches us to value what we have. It's not about living under one roof. It's about staying connected, no matter where we are. Ozarks Go, keeping you connected to what matters most.
The roof is a home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
Big night for Fayetteville's offense. Purple Dogs lead Cabot 52-24. Hank Hendricks and Caleb Johnson both having big nights.
Indeed, 5 plays, 38 yards. On that, let's see, the Bulldogs have rushed for 131 yards and passed 402. I can even do that math. 533 yards of offense. That is a lot of offense. And we still have almost a full quarter to go.
Here's the kick. It's fielded at the 22-yard line, back out across the 35 near the 40 before he's pushed back. Cabot will start this drive at its own 39. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Here, Maddox McCrory is going to hand it off on first down, and Fayetteville reads this nicely. Several Purple Dogs there to bottle up Davenport, the ball carrier. Or correction, it was Powell on the carry. Looked like Jeremiah Conley might have been the first one there for Fayetteville. It'll be no gain. They'll give him forward progress back to the 39, second down.
Cabot has rushed 28 times for 74 yards.
Second and 10 here for the Panthers. McCrory takes the snap on second down, being pressured, rolls right. Looking to throw downfield, gets it off, and that pass is incomplete. Sliding catch attempt right at the first down marker, but Tatum couldn't bring it in. Now it's third down.
See several players kind of having a hard time staying upright. It's about the third player we've seen slip. I don't know if the humidity's causing what's going on.
Third down here for the Panthers. They need to get to their own 49-yard line. Four receivers to the right side, one to the left. Empty backfield. McCrory looked like he got Fayetteville to jump, but there's no flag. Yeah. Purple Dogs able to stay on side. 2 on the play clock, and now Cabot's going to have to use a timeout. Timeout by the Panthers, 10:39 to play. Fayetteville leading 52-24. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible.
Back at Harmon Field, third down for Cabot. Maddox McCrory looking to throw, rolls to his right, throwing deep downfield, and that pass is tipped and nearly picked. Grayson Jerry in coverage. Tatum, the intended receiver. Now it's fourth down.
Thought for a moment he might have caught it.
Cabot's going to punt the ball away now. Kavian Taylor, who had a nice 32-yard return on the last punt, stands back at his own 25. Lucas Blaylock stands on his 25. Here's a little bit of a high snap. Blaylock gets it off against the rush. It's a high end over end kick that Taylor will take at the 27 with a fair catch. So Fayetteville has possession with 10.5 minutes left to play. Tonight's broadcast of Purple Dog Football presented by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, and by Ozarks Go, a telecommunications subsidiary of Ozarks Electric Cooperative, offering high-speed, reliable multi-gig internet for Northwest Arkansas. And Kendrick stays in the game here as Fayetteville starts from its own 29-yard line, 4 wide. Cabot shows blitz, play action. Here's a quick pass out right side. Nicholson with the catch. He's going to be hit behind the line, able to get forward to the 30. Gain of a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Slammed down pretty hard to the turf, too.
Drake Knock has checked in as Fayetteville's running back. First time we've seen him tonight. Purple Dogs taking a little bit of time here in between plays. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. That's Taylor, tight end to the right. Hendricks play action. Pump fakes, looking deep downfield. He's got Taylor
Oh
behind the
my.
defense at the 45, at the 30, broken tackle at the 20, and he's gone. Touchdown, Fayetteville. A 70-yard touchdown from Hank Hendricks to Kavian Taylor, and Hank is having a monster night in his debut.
Man, that was impressive because I was watching through the binoculars. I mean, the pocket was collapsing around him. Didn't even phase him. I mean, he just threw a dart. They were grabbing his shoulder pad, and he just throws a dart. And then Katavian takes it and see ya.
Here's an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Call Jeremy Forbes and Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. This would give us a running clock. Patrick Alexander will snap. William Woodruff will hold. The ball is down. The kick is on the way. And Ethan Farthing's extra point is good. We'll have a running clock. The final 10:08. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer, on the web at callalexbaldwin.com. Our new score from Harmon Field, Fayetteville 59, Cabot 24. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today, and I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
10:08 to play. Fayetteville leading 59-24 after a 70-yard touchdown pass from Hank Hendricks to Kavian Taylor.
2 plays, 73 yards. Katavian, 6 catches, 156 yards and a score. Hank Hendricks, 21 of 35 for 475 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hollow, Arkansas.
Jack Billings' kick, end over end. That will take Aeneas Arnold into the end zone for a touchback. Purple Dogs bring their best to the field each night, and Crane Buick GMC in Springdale brings their best every day as well. Best selection on new and pre-owned vehicles, from trucks to SUVs like GMC Sierra, Yukon, Acadia, Buick Encore and Envision. The best inventory at the best prices and the best service, hands down. Save thousands and lower your payments every single day for all your vehicle needs. Crane Buick GMC in Springdale.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drama with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crispy, and sauced
First
like
down
a
for Cabot
boss.
here from its own
Bite into
20-yard
your
line.
obsession.
Here's to give to Davenport.
Only at
Starts
Slim
right,
Chickens.
then goes up the middle. He'll get past the 25 out to the 26 before he's taken down. Several new defensive players in now for Fayetteville. They're going to get some chance to get some backups in, some playing experience tonight.
Yeah. Get some video of him.
A lot of these guys we saw Monday night during the JV game against Heritage that Fayetteville won 48-0. On second down, Davenport gets the call again, gets across the 30, and he'll get forward to the 35-yard line. Christian Bailey on the stop that time for Fayetteville. First down yardage with a gain of 9.
I would imagine it'd be a steady dose of run from Cabot.
Running clock the rest of the way with Fayetteville up 35, 59-24. 2 receivers right side. On first down, Davenport will get the call again, goes right, and he'll get forward to about the 38-yard line. Tackled that time for the Purple Dogs, made by Roe Epps, who had a big game Monday night. Second down and 7.
West is driving on Greenwood. They're under 5 minutes to go. The Wolverines down 4.
Well, that would be a very surprising result if West wins that game.
Yeah.
2 receivers to the left side here on second down. Davenport again. He'll go right side. Patient run across the 40. Broken tackle to the 45. Pushes the pile forward. Out near midfield. The ball came out. But are they going to say he was down? He is down at the 50.
He's got to come out. He's tired.
Tackle that time for the Purple Dogs was made by Mike Stout. First down for Cabot here in midfield. Clock continues to run, 7:47 to play. Fayetteville going to win its season opener for the third year in a row over Cabot. Third time in a row they've kind of won by blowout too, Blair.
Yeah.
Here's a run right side across the 45, 40, down to the 35-yard line. First time tonight that we've seen the Cabot running back, Kylan Morse. That's a gain of 15. Stout made the stop again for Fayetteville.
Battering ram.
Fayetteville won here 43-21 in the season opener 2 years ago. Won 48-13 over Cabot last year. Here's a run up the middle, and Jax Tidwell has checked back into the game, and he says, hello. Morris hitting the backfield, driven backward for a loss of 2. It'll bring up second down. Fayetteville's brought its first defense back in. Kind of surprised to see that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
First defense minus some players. Kendrick Williams has not played in the second half. In fact, he does not have his jersey on the sideline. Seemed to have an injured ankle. Here's a bad snap, and quarterback will have to go recover that back on the other side of midfield, back at the 47-yard line. This is a new quarterback, by the way, for Cabot, Tice Fletcher, number 3. He's a sophomore. So after that bad snap, it's third down and 28 for the Panthers. Williams hasn't played in the second half. We haven't seen Will Caston out there in several drives either. Chris Anderson was hurt in the first half as well. Here's Fletcher on third down, throwing deep downfield, and that pass is incomplete, but we're going to get flags, and this is going to be a pass interference against Blake Johnson. Intended receiver was Jaden Terry.
Oops.
So this is where it's different in high school football than in college football, because it's still going to be third down, Blair, because it was third and so long. Third and 28 just became third and 13. They'll mark the ball down at the 38-yard line of Fayetteville. Cabot needs to get to the Purple Dog 25. 4 wide. Fletcher in the shotgun, takes the snap. Fayetteville rushes 3. Pocket starts to close down, and Jeremiah Conley knocked the ball loose. It's on the turf. Fayetteville tries to scoop it up. There's a battle for it back on the Cabot side of the field. I think the Panthers came away with it. One of their offensive linemen able to fall on top of it. But now it's going to be fourth down. Conley did a great job of stripping that ball free.
Wow.
Riley Cochran came away with it. And now it's fourth down. We'll see what Cabot decides to do. Punt team coming out. They got a break with the pass interference penalty, and now they end up kind of back in the same spot they were in.
Yeah. Fortunate break for the Bulldogs, though. I don't know if they need any breaks at this point in the ball game.
Jabron Avent had a punt return for a touchdown on Monday night. You know, in that JV game, here's the kick by Blaylock. It's a high kick, and that's not going to be returnable. In fact, it'll go out of bounds somewhere around the Fayetteville 30. They'll mark it at the 31-yard line, so that's where the Purple Dogs will start with under 4.5 minutes to play. On Monday night, they scored in every phase of the game. They had a punt return touchdown. They had a pick 6. Obviously, they had several offensive touchdowns tonight. Looks like they're going to finish with just an offensive and a defensive score, no special teams.
Yeah, it was an impressive showing Monday night. Impressive showing tonight for the Bulldogs.
4:05 to play as Cade Rogers comes in. He had a great game in the rain here Monday night against Heritage. He'll stand in the shotgun on first down from the Fayetteville 31, hands it off. This is Terrence Garden. Tackled at the 30 for a loss of a yard. Garden, you're going to like watching him if you haven't seen him before. He was an absolute monster on the 9th grade circuit last year. Had a really nice night Monday in the JV game, too.
Yeah, once he gets it figured out, look out. He's got speed to burn.
2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. On second down, they give it to Garden again. Running right side, he's got some blockers. Gets across the 35, a stiff arm, and he's run out of bounds on the Fayetteville sideline at the 38-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
Get him in the open field and just let him cook.
Andrew Godwin on the stop that time for Cabot. Clock continues to run. It'll be under 3 minutes when Fayetteville takes its next snap.
West has just scored on Greenwood to take the lead with 1:36 to go.
My goodness.
Wow. Oh, maybe not. There's a flag.
Is that in Greenwood?
Yeah, that's a flag on West.
2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right here. 3rd down and 3 for Fayetteville. Garden gets the carry up the middle.
There he goes.
There he goes across midfield at the 40. Garden in the open field across the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Fayetteville. Terrence Garden with a 62-yard touchdown run, the first of his varsity career, the first of many, I have a feeling, Blair.
Yes. 3 carries, 69 yards in his high school debut, and a touchdown.
We told you.
Not bad.
We told you this kid can move.
He has another year. That's 675 yards of offense for the Dogs.
Here's an Anchor Point extra point for comprehensive wealth management. Called Jeremy Forbes at Anchor Point Financial, anchorpointadvisors.com. Here's a high snap. Woodruff able to get it down, and Ethan Farthing knocks it through. 2:12 to play here at Harmon Field. Touchdown brought to you by Alex Baldwin State Farm, Fayetteville's #1 auto insurer. On the web at callalexbaldwin.com. The new score, Fayetteville 66, Cabot 24. This is Purple Dog Football on the Fayetteville Sports Network.
Looking for homes in Fayetteville? Looking for a lakefront property in northwest Arkansas? A cattle operation? Hunting land? We've got you covered. United Country NWA Real Estate relies on a proven blend of local expertise and national marketing to serve our clients. We've served Fayetteville since 1928 and proudly support our Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. Find your freedom with NWA Real Estate.
And we're back here at Harmon Field. Fayetteville putting the finishing touches on a season opening win over Cabot. Purple Dogs up 66-24 with 2:12 to play.
Yeah, very impressive showing tonight by the Bulldogs. The clock should be running, but it is not. It is paused at 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
As I look out here across the field, Blair, there are so many former Razorbacks out here. I mean,
yeah.
Even on the officiating staff, you got Colby Berna, the referee. He went to Arkansas, had back injuries that kept him from playing college football. Richard Smith, who was a great wide receiver under Houston Nutt, he's our back judge tonight.
Yep.
You look on the Fayetteville sideline, we saw Darren McFadden. He's still down there earlier tonight. Casey Dick, of course, played for Arkansas, starting quarterback. You got multiple players on the Fayetteville roster whose fathers are in the stands. They were great Razorbacks. Jack Billings kicks it away. He's been busy tonight, hasn't he?
Yes, he
It's going to be
has.
fielded at the 10, across the 15, the 20, and pushed backward at about the 22-yard line was Godwin on the return. Now flags come out at the end of the play. There were a couple of players tangled up over in front of the Cabot bench. Tucker Harrison and Owen Humphreys were tied up. We'll see who they get for the penalty. 2 flags came out.
What number's Godwin?
It's going to be against Humphreys of Fayetteville, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of that return. Fayetteville will be here next week. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma will make the trip across the border. That was a fun game over there last year. Fayetteville won 30-23 after trailing 16-0 in the third quarter. Two receivers to the left side here for Cabot. Just time for maybe a couple of more plays. Fletcher's still the quarterback. He'll hand it off across the 40, 45. Midfield onto the Fayetteville side, down to the 40 and to the 39-yard line. It was Kylan Morris on the carry again. Stout made the stop for Fayetteville. Cabot getting up to the line quickly as the clock goes under 40 seconds to play. Panthers trying to see if they can tack on a touchdown here.
Final in Greenwood, 35-31. Greenwood holds off West.
Two receivers left side. Morse gets the call again. Running right, gets toward the 30, down to the 31-yard line. 20 seconds to play. We'll see if Cabot can get one more snap off.
They don't seem too interested in doing that.
They'll hurry up to the line. Time for one more play for the Panthers. If they can get it off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And they just do get it off. Fletcher drops back, going to throw deep downfield, overshoots his receiver, and this one is in the books. Fayetteville, a really, really impressive season opening win tonight over Cabot. The final score, Fayetteville 66, Cabot 24. Fayetteville puts up just a monster offensive night.
Yeah, 200 yards rushing, 475 yards passing. Hank Hendricks, 21 of 35 for 475, 4 scores. Kavian Taylor and Kenyon Johnson, both over 140 yards receiving. I mean, man, that was 21 first downs for both teams, but wow, just a great job by the Bulldogs tonight. 11 penalties, probably a lot more than the coaches wanted, but really that was the only negative tonight. 6 of 10 on third down, that's really good.
But they're kind of expected in the first game of the year. Penalties, that's just kind of how it goes. Fayetteville improves to 6-1 all time against Cabot. Purple Dogs have won the last 3, and they've won them all by blowout in the season opener. They've never won by this much. Again, the final score at Harmon Field, Fayetteville 66, Cabot 24. Broken Arrow will be in here next week. 7 o'clock kickoff at Harmon Field. We'll be on the air at 6:40. Got a JV game Tuesday night against Fort Smith Northside. Hope to see you then, or hope to see you next Friday night. Have a great weekend, everybody. Great Labor Day weekend. Fayetteville wins.